On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. Part 1. Old School. 1. I might have to kill somebody tonight. It could be somebody I know. It could be a stranger. It could be somebody who's never battled before. On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. Part 1. Old School. 1. I might have to kill somebody tonight. It could be somebody I know. It could be a stranger. It could be somebody who's never battled before. It could be somebody who's a pro at it. It doesn't matter how many punchlines they spit or how nice their flow is. I'll have to kill them. First, I gotta get the call. To get the call, I gotta get the hell out of Mrs. Murray's class. Some multiple choice questions take up most of my laptop, but the clock though, the clock, is everything. According to it, there are 10 minutes until 4:30, and according to and Pooh, who knows somebody, DJ Hype calls between 4:30 and 5:30. I swear if I miss him, I won't do shit, cause Mrs. Murray has my phone, and Mrs. Murray's not one to play with. I only see the top of her sister locks. The rest of her is hidden behind her Nikki Giovanni book. Occasionally she goes at some line the same way my grandma does during a sermon. Poetry is Mrs. Murray's religion. Everyone else cleared out of Midtown School of the Arts almost an hour ago, except for us juniors whose parents or guardians signed us up for ACT prep. It's not guaranteed to get you a 36, but Jay said I better get close since she paid these folks a light bill for this class. Every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon, I drag myself into this classroom and hand my phone over to Mrs. Murray. Usually I'm cool with an entire hour of not knowing what the president tweeted, or getting texts from Sonny and Malik, sometimes about shit the president tweeted. But today, I wanna go up to the desk, snatch my phone from the pile, and run out of here. PSST. Brianna, someone whispers. Malik's behind me, and behind him Sonny mouths, anything yet? I tilt my head with the how am I supposed to know, I don't have my phone eyebrow raise. Yeah, that's a lot to expect him to get, but me, Sonny, and Malik have been tight since womb days. Our mums are best friends, and the three of them were pregnant with us at the same time. They call us the Unholy Trinity, because they claim we kicked in their bellies whenever they were together. So non-verbal communication. Not new. Sonny shrugs with an I don't know, I'm just checking, mixed in with damn, you ain't got to catch an attitude. I narrow my eyes at his little light-skinned hobbit looking behind. He's got the curly hair and the big ears. I don't have an attitude. You asked a dumb question. I turn around. Mrs. Murray eyes us over the top of her book with a little non-verbal communication of her own. I know you all not talking in my class. Technically you were not talking, but what I look like telling her that, verbally or non-verbally. 4:27. 3 minutes and the phone will be in my hand. 4:28. 2 minutes. 4:29. 1. Mrs. Murray closes her book. Time's up. Submit your practice test as is. Shit. The test. For me, as is, means not a single question is answered. Thankfully, it's multiple choice. Since there are 4 choices per question, there's a 25% chance that I'll randomly choose the right one. I click answers while everyone else collects their phones. Everyone except Malik. He towers over me as he slips his jean jacket over his hoodie. In the past 2 years, he went from being shorter than me to so tall he has to bend to hug me. His high top fade makes him even taller. Damn, Bree, Malik says. Did you do any of the SHHH? I submit my answers and sling my backpack over my shoulder. I did the test. Long as you're prepared to take an L, Breezy. An L on a practice test isn't really an L. I throw my snapback on it, pulling the front down enough so it can cover my edges. They're a little jacked at the moment and will stay jacked until Jay braids my hair. Sonny beat me getting to Mrs. Murray's desk. He goes for my phone like the ride or die he is, but Mrs. Murray grabs it first. That's okay, Jackson. She uses his real name, which happens to be my last name. His mama named him in honor of my grandparents, her godparents. I need to talk to Brianna for a second. Sonny and Malik both look at me. What the hell did you do? My eyes are probably as wide as theirs. Do I look like I know? Mrs. Murray nods toward the door. You and Malik can go. It'll only take a moment. Sonny turns to me. You're fucked. Possibly. Don't get me wrong. Mrs. Murray is sweet, but she does not play. One time, I half-assed my way through an essay about Langston Hughes's use of dreams. Mrs. Murray went in on me so bad, I wish Jay would have gone in on me instead. That's saying something. Sonny and Malik leave. Mrs. Murray sits on the edge of the desk and sets my phone beside her. The screen is dim. No call yet. What's going on, Brianna? She asks. I look from her to the phone and back. What you mean? You were extremely distracted today, she says. You didn't even do your practice test. Yes, I did. Kinda. A little. Sorta. Not really. Nah, girl, you didn't submit any answers until a minute ago. Honestly, you haven't been focused for a while now. Trust me, when you get your report card next week, you'll see proof. B's don't turn to C's and D's for nothing. Shit. D's. I gave you what you earned. So what's going on? It's not like you've been missing class lately. Lately? It's been exactly a month since my last suspension, and I haven't been sent to the principal's office in 2 weeks. That's a new record. Is everything okay at home? Mrs. Murray asks. You sound like Miss Collins. That's the young, blonde counselor who's nice but tries too hard. Every single time I get sent to her, she asks me questions that sound like they came from some how to talk to statistical black children who come to your office often handbook. How's your home life? None of your business. Have you witnessed any traumatic events lately, such as shootings? Just because I live in the ghetto doesn't mean I dodge bullets every day. Are you struggling to come to terms with your father's murder? It was 12 years ago. I barely remember him or it. Are you struggling to come to terms with your mother's addiction? She's been clean for 8 years. She's only addicted to soap operas these days. What's good with you? Homage Earl, Naman. Okay, she hasn't said that, but give her time. Mrs. Murray smirks. I'm just trying to figure out what's up with you. So what's got you so distracted today that you wasted my time and your mama's hard-earned money? I sigh. She's not giving me that phone until I talk. So fine. I'll talk. I'm waiting on DJ Hype to tell me I can battle in the ring tonight. The ring? Yeah, Jimmy's boxing ring. He has freestyle battles every Thursday. I submitted my name for a chance to battle tonight. Oh, I know what the ring is. I'm just surprised you're going in it. The way she says "you're" makes my stomach drop, as if it makes more sense that anyone else in the world would go in the ring except for me. Why are you surprised? She puts her hands up. I don't mean anything by it. I know you've got skills. I've read your poetry. I just didn't know you wanted to be a rapper. A lot of people don't know, and that's the problem. I've been rapping since I was 10, but I've never really put myself out there with it. I mean, yeah, Sonny and Malik know. My family knows. But let's be real. Your mom saying you're a good rapper is like your mom saying you're cute when you look a hot mess. Compliments like that are part of the parental responsibilities she took on when she evicted me from her womb. Maybe I'm good, I don't know. I've been waiting for the right moment. Tonight may be the perfect time, and the ring is the perfect place. It's one of the most sacred spots in Garden Heights, second only to Christ Temple. You can't call yourself a rapper until you've battled in the ring. That's why I gotta kill it. I win tonight. I'll get a spot in the ring's lineup, and if I get a spot in the lineup, I can do more battles, and if I do more battles, I'll make a name for myself. Who knows what could happen then? Mrs. Murray's expression softens. Following your dad's footsteps, huh? It's weird. Whenever other people mention him, it's like they're confirming that he's not some imaginary person I only remember bits and pieces of. And when they call him my dad and not Lawless, the underground rap legend, it's like they're reminding me that I'm his and he's mine. I guess. I've been preparing for the ring for a minute now. I mean, it's hard to prepare for a battle, but a win could jumpstart my career, you know. Let me get this straight, she says, sitting up. Imaginary alarms go off in my head. Warning, your teacher is about to gather you. Boo. You've been so focused on rapping that your grades have dropped drastically this semester. Forget that junior year grades are vital for college admissions. Forget that you once told me you want to get into Markham or Howard. Mrs. Murray, no, you think about this for a second. College is your goal, right? I guess. You guess. I shrug. College isn't for everyone, you know. Maybe not. But a high school education. Critical. It's a D now, but the T will turn to an F if you keep this up. I had a similar conversation with your brother once. I try not to roll my eyes. It's nothing against Trey or Mrs. Murray, but when you have an older brother who did great before you, if you don't at least match his greatness, people have something to say. I've never been able to match Trey here at Midtown. They still have the programs and newspaper clippings on display from when he starred in A Raisin in the Sun. I'm surprised they haven't renamed Midtown the Trey Jackson School of the Arts because we love his ass that much. Anyway, he once went from As to C's, Mrs. Murray says, but he turned it around. Now look at him. Graduated from Markham with honours. He also moved back home this summer. He couldn't find a decent job, and as of 3 weeks ago, he makes pizzas for minimum wage. It doesn't give me much to look forward to. I'm not knocking him. At all. It's dope that he graduated. Nobody in her mom's family has a college degree, and grandma, or dad's mom, loves to tell everyone that her grandson was magna cum laude. That is so not how you say it, but good luck telling grandma that. Mrs. Murray won't hear that though. I'm gonna improve my grades, I swear, I tell her. I just got to do this battle first and see what happens. She nods. I understand. I'm sure your mom will too. She tosses me my phone. Fuck. I head to the hallway. Sonny and Malik lean against the lockers. Sonny types away on his phone. Malik fiddles with his camera. He's always in filmmaker mode. A few feet away, the school security guards, Long and Tate, keep an eye on them. Those two are always on some mess. Nobody wants to say it, but if you're black or brown, you're more likely to end up on their radar, even though Long himself is black. Malik glances up from his phone. You okay, Bree? Go on now, Long calls. Don't be lollygagging around here. God damn, can't we talk for a second? I ask. You heard him, says Tate, thumbing toward the doors. He's got stringy blonde hair. Get out of here. I open my mouth, but Sonny goes, let's just go, Bree. Fine. I follow Sonny and Malik toward the doors and glance at my phone. It's 4:45, and Hype still hasn't called. A city bus ride and a walk home later, nothing. I get to my house at exactly 5:09. Jay's Jeep Cherokee is in her driveway. Gospel music blares in the house. It's one of those upbeat songs that leads to a praise break at church and Grandma running around the sanctuary, shouting. It's embarrassing as hell. Anyway, Jay only plays those kind of songs on Saturdays when it's cleaning day to make me and Trey get up and help. It's hard to cuss when somebody sings about Jesus, so I get up and clean without a word. Wonder why she's playing the music now. A chill hits me soon as I step in the house. It's not as cold as outside. I can take my coat off, but my hoodie's gonna stay on. Her gas got cut off last week, and with no gas, we don't have heat. Jay put an electric heater in the hallway, but it only takes a bit of the chill out of the air. We have to heat water in pots on the electric stove if we want to take hot baths, and we sleep with extra covers on our beds. Some bills caught up with my mom and Trey, and she had to ask the gas company for an extension. Then another one. And another one. They got tired of waiting for their money and just cut it off. It happens. I'm home, I call from the living room. I'm about to toss my backpack and my coat onto the couch, but Jay snaps from wherever she is. Hang that coat up and put that backpack in your room. God damn, how does she do that? I do what she said and follow the music to the kitchen. Jay takes 2 plates out of a cabinet, one for me, one for her. Trey won't be home for a while. Jay's still in her church Jay look that's required as the church secretary, the ponytail, the knee-length skirt, and the long-sleeved blouse that covers her tattoos and the scars from her habit. It's Thursday, so she's got classes tonight as she goes after that social work degree she wants to make sure other people get the help she didn't back when she was on drugs. For the past few months, she's been in school part-time, taking classes several nights a week. She usually only has time to either eat or change, not both. Guess she chose to eat tonight. Hey, lil bit, she says all sweet, like she didn't just snap on me. Typical. How was your day? It's 5:13. I sit at the table. He hasn't called yet. Jay sets one plate in front of me and one beside me. DJ hype. I submitted my name for a spot in the ring, remember? Oh, that, like it's no big deal. Jay knows I like to rap, but I don't think she realizes that I want to rap. She acts like it's the latest video game I'm into. Give him time, she says. How was ACT prep? You all did practice tests today, right? Yep. That's all she cares about these days, that damn test. Well, she says, like she's waiting for more. How'd you do? All right, I guess. Was it hard? Easy? Were there any parts you struggled through? Here we go with the interrogation. It's just a practice test. That will give us a good idea of how you'll do on the real test. Jay says, Bree, this is serious. I know. She's told me a million times. Jay puts pieces of chicken on the plates. Popeyes. It's the 15th. She just got paid, so we're eating good. Jay swears though that Popeyes isn't as good here as it is in New Orleans. That's where she and Pooh were born. I can still hear New Orleans in Jay's voice sometimes. Like when she says, baby, it's as if molasses seeped into the word and breaks it down into more syllables than it needs. If we want you to get into a good school, you gotta take this more seriously, she says. If we want. More like if she wants. It's not that I don't want to go to college. I honestly don't know. The main thing I want is to make rapping happen. I do that, it'll be better than any good job a college degree could give me. I pick up my phone. It's 5:20. No call. Jay sucks her teeth. Uh-huh. What? I see where your head is. Probably couldn't focus on that test for thinking about that ring mess. Yes. No. What time was Hype supposed to call, Bree? Aunt Pooh said between 4:30 and 5:30. Pooh. You can't take anything she says as law. She's the same one who claimed that somebody in the garden captured an alien and hid it in their basement. True. Even if he does call between 4:30 and 5:30, you've still got time, she says. I know, I'm just impatient. Like your daddy. Let Jay tell it. I'm stubborn like my daddy, smart-mouthed like my daddy, and hot-headed like my daddy. As if she's not all those things and then some. She says Trey and I look like him too. Same smile, without the gold grill. Same dimpled cheeks, same light complexions that make folks call us red bones, and light brights. Same dark, wide eyes. I don't have Jay's high cheekbones or her lighter eyes, and I only get her complexion when I stay out in the summer sun all day. Sometimes I catch her staring at me, like she's looking for herself. Or like she sees Dad and can't look away. Kinda how she stares at me now. What's wrong? I ask. She smiles, but it's weak. Nothing. Be patient, Bree. If he does call, go to the gym, do your lil battle, and come straight home. Don't be hanging out with Pooh's rough behind. Aunt Pooh has been taking me to the ring for weeks to get a feel for things. I watched plenty of YouTube videos before that, but there's something about being there. Jay was cool with me going dad battle there, and Mr. Jimmy doesn't tolerate any nonsense, but she wasn't crazy about me going with Aunt Pooh. She definitely wasn't crazy about Aunt Pooh calling herself my manager. According to her, that fool ain't no manager. How you gonna shade your sister like that? I ask her. She scoops Cajun rice onto the plates. I know what she's into. You know what she's into. Yeah, but she won't let anything happen. Pause. Jay puts fried okra on the plates, then corn on the cob. She finishes them off with soft, fluffy biscuits. Say what you want about Popeye's biscuits, but they're neither soft nor fluffy. This is Popkin Church. Popkin Church is when you buy fried chicken and Cajun rice from Popeye's, biscuits from KFC, and fried okra and corn on the cob from Church's. Trey calls it pre-cardiac arrest. But see, Popkin Church is problematic, and not because of digestive drama that may ensue. Jay only gets it when something bad happens. When she broke the news that her Aunt Norma had terminal cancer a couple of years ago, she bought Popkin Church. When she realized she couldn't get me a new laptop last Christmas, Popkin Church. When Grandma decided not to move out of state to help her sister recover from her stroke, Jay bought Popkin Church. I've never seen anybody take their aggression out on a chicken thigh quite like she did that day. This isn't good. What's wrong? Bree, it's nothing for you to worry. My phone buzzes on the table, and we both jump. The screen lights up with a number I don't recognize. It's 5:30. Jay smiles. There's your call. My hands shake down to my fingertips, but I tap the screen and put the phone to my ear. I force out the, "Hello, is this Bree?" An all too familiar voice asks. My throat is dry all of a sudden. Yeah, this is she. Her. Me. Screw grammar. What's up? It's DJ Hype. You ready, baby girl? This is the absolute worst time to forget how to speak. I clear my throat. Ready for what? Are you ready to kill it? Congratulations, you got a spot in the ring tonight. 2. I texted Aunt Pooh 3 words. I got in. She shows up in 15 minutes, tops. I hear her before I see her. Flashlight, by Parliament, blasts out front. She's beside her cutlass, getting it in. Millie rocking, disciple walking, all of that, like she's a one-woman Soul Train line. I go outside and throw my hoodie over my snapback. It's colder than a polar bear's butt crack out here. My hands are freezing as I lock the front door. Jay left for class a few minutes ago. Something's happened, I know it. Plus, she didn't say it was nothing. She said it's nothing for me to worry about. Difference. There she go. Aunt Pooh points at me. The ring legend in the making. The ponytail holders on her braids clink as she dances. They're green like her sneakers. According to Garden Heights Gang Culture 101, a garden disciple's always got to wear a green. Yeah, she's about that life. Her arms and neck are covered in tattoos that only GDS can decipher, except for those red lips tattooed on her neck. Those are her girlfriends, Lena's. What I tell you. She flashes her white gold grill in a grin and slaps my palm with each word. Told you'd get in. I barely smile. Yeah, you got in the ring, Bree. The ring. You know how many folks around here wish they had a shot like this. What's up with you? A whole lot. Something's happened, but Jay won't tell me what. What makes you think that? She bought Popkin Church. Damn, for real, she says, and you'd think that would set off alarms for her, too. But she goes, why you ain't bring me a plate? I narrow my eyes. Greedy ass. She only gets Popkin Church when something's wrong, Aunt Pooh. Nah, man. You reading too much into this. This battle got you all jittery. I bite my lip. Maybe. Definitely. Let's get you to the ring so you can show these fools how it's done. She holds her palm to me. Sky's the limit. That's her motto, taken from a Big E song older than me and almost as old as Aunt Pooh. I slap her palm. Sky's the limit. We'll see them chumps on top. She semi-quotes the song and pecks my forehead. Even if you're wearing that nerdy-ass hoodie. It's got Darth Vader on the front. Jay found it at the swap meet a few weeks ago. What? Vader's that dude? I don't care, it's nerd shit. I roll my eyes. When you have an aunt who was only 10 when you were born, sometimes she acts like an aunt and sometimes she acts like an annoying older sister. Especially since Jay helped raise her. Their mom was killed when Aunt Pooh was 1 and their dad died when she was 9. Jay's always treated Pooh like her third kid. Nerd shit. I say to her. More like dope shit. You need to expand your horizons. And you need to stop shopping off the Sci-Fi Channel. Star Wars technically isn't, so never mind. The top's down on the cutlass, so I climb over the door to get in. Aunt Pooh pulls her sagging pants up before she hops in. What's the point of letting them sag if you're just gonna pull them up all the time? Yet she wants to criticize my fashion choices. She reclines her seat back and turns the heat all the way up. Yeah, she could put the top up, but the combination of cool night air and warmth from the heater is a 1. Let me get one of my shits. She reaches into the glove compartment. Aunt Pooh gave up weed and turned to blow pops instead. Guess she'd rather get diabetes than get high all the time. My phone buzzes in my hoodie pocket. I texted Sunny and Malik the same 3 words I texted Aunt Pooh, and they're geeking out. I should be geeking out too, or at least getting in the zone, but I can't shake the feeling that the world has turned upside down. At any second, it may turn me upside down with it. Jimmy's parking lot is almost filled up, but not everybody is trying to get in the building. The let-out has already started. That's the party outside that happens every Thursday night after the final battle in the ring. For almost a year now, folks have been using Jimmy's as a party spot, kinda like they do Magnolia Ave on Friday nights. See, last year a kid was murdered by a cop just a few streets away from my grandparents' house. He was unarmed, but the grand jury decided not to charge the officer. There were riots and protests for weeks. Half the businesses in the garden were either intentionally burned down by rioters or were casualties of the war. Club Envy, the usual Thursday night spot, was a casualty. The parking lot club's not really my thing. Partying in the freezing cold. I think not, but it's cool to see people showing off their new rims or their hydraulics, cars bouncing up and down like they don't know a thing about gravity. The cops constantly drive by, but that's the new normal in the garden. It's supposed to be on some, "Hi, I'm your friendly neighborhood cop who won't shoot you" type shit, but it comes off as some, "We're keeping an eye on your black asses" type shit. I follow Aunt Pooh to the entrance. Music drifts from in the gym, and the bouncers pat people down and wave metal detector ones around. If somebody's got a piece, security put it in a bucket nearby and returns it once the ring lets out. The champ is here. Aunt Pooh calls as we approach the line. Might as well crown her now. It's enough to get me in. Aunt Pooh palm slaps and nods. "What's up, Lil Law?" a couple of people say. Even though we're technically cutting the line, it's all good. I'm royalty thanks to my dad. I get a couple of smirks though. Guess it's funny that a 16-year-old girl in a Darth Vader hoodie thinks she's got a shot in the ring. The bouncers slap palms with Aunt Pooh. "What's up, Bree?" The stocky one, Reggie, says. "You finally getting on tonight?" "Yep." "She gone kill it too," Aunt Pooh says. "Alright." The taller one, Frank, says, waving the wand around us. "Carrying the torch for Law, huh?" "Not really. More like making my own torch and carrying it," I say. "Yeah, though, because that's what I'm supposed to say. It's part of being royalty." Reggie motions us through. "May the force beam you up, Scotty." He points at my hoodie, then does the Vulcan salute. "How the hell do you confuse Star Trek and Star Wars?" "How?" Unfortunately to some people in the garden it's nerd shit, or as some fool at the swap meet said, white shit. Folks need to get their space opera life right. We go inside. As usual, it's mostly guys in here, but I see a few girls too, which is reflective of the small ratio of women to men in hip-hop, which is total misogynistic fuckery, but anyway. There are kids who look like they came straight from Garden Heights High, folks who look like they were alive when Biggie and Tupac were around, and old heads who look like they've been coming to the ring since the Kangol hats and shell-toe Adidas days. Weed and cigarette smoke linger in the air, and everybody crowds around the boxing ring in the centre. Aunt Pooh finds us a spot beside the ring. Kick in the Door, by Notorious B.I.G., plays above all of the chatter. The bass pounds the floor like an earthquake, and B.I.G.'s voice seems to fill up the entire gym. A few seconds of Biggie makes me forget everything else. That flow though. That shit is fire, Aunt Pooh says. Fire. That shit is legendary. Biggie single-handedly proves that delivery is key. Everything isn't an exact rhyme, but it works. He made Jesus and penis rhyme. Come on. Jesus and penis. Okay, it's probably offensive if you're Jesus, but still. Legendary. Alright. Aunt Pooh laughs. I hear you. I nod along, soaking up every line. Aunt Pooh watches me with a smile, making that scar on her cheek from the time she got stabbed look like a dimple. Hip-hop is addictive, and Aunt Pooh first got me hooked. When I was 8, she played Nazomatic for me and said, "This dude will change your life with a few lines." He did. Nothing's been the same since Nas told me the world was mine. Old as that album was back then, it was like waking up after being asleep my whole life. It was damn near spiritual. I fiend for that feeling. It's the reason I rap. There's a commotion near the doors. This guy with short dreadlocks makes his way through the crowd, and people give him dap along the way. D-Nice, aka one of the best known rappers from the ring. All of his battles went viral. He recently retired from battle rapping. Funny he'd retire from anything, young as he is. He graduated from Midtown last year. Yo, did you hear? Aunt Pooh asks. Oh, boy just got a record deal. For real? Yep. 7 figures, up front. God damn. No wonder he retired. $1 million deal. Not just that, but someone from the garden got $1 million deal. The music fades out, and the lights dim. A spotlight shines directly on Hype, and the cheers start. Let's get ready to battle, Hype says, like this really is a boxing match. For our first battle, in this corner we got M. This short, tatted guy climbs into the ring to a mix of cheers and boos. And in this corner, we got Mystic. Hype says. I scream loud as this dark-skinned girl with hoop earrings and a short curly cut climbs into the ring. Mystic is around Trey's age, but she spits like an old soul, as if she's lived a couple of lifetimes and didn't like either one of them shits. She's goals to the highest degree. Hype introduces the judges. There's Mr. Jimmy himself, D-Nice, and CZ, an undefeated ring champion. Hype flips a coin, and Mystic wins it. She lets M. go first. The beat starts up. A Tale of Two Cities, by J. Cole. The gym goes nuts, but me, I watch the ring. M. paces, and Mystic keeps her eyes on him like a predator watching prey. Even when M. goes at her, she doesn't flinch, doesn't react, just stares at him like she knows she's gonna destroy him. It's a thing of beauty. He has some good lines. His flow is okay. But when it's Mystic's turn, she hits him with punchlines that give me goosebumps. Every line gets a reaction out of the crowd. She wins the first 2 battles, hands down, and it's over. Alright, y'all, Hype says. It's time for Rookie Royale. 2 rookies will battle it out for the first time in the ring. Aunt Pooh bounces on her heels. Yee. All of a sudden, my knees feel weak. 2 names have been drawn, Hype says, so without further ado, our first MC is he plays a drum roll. People stomp their feet along with it, rattling the floor, so I'm not completely sure if my legs shake as much as I think. Melez, Hype says. Cheers go up on the other side of the gym. The crowd parts, and this brown-skinned boy with zigzags cut into his hair makes his way toward the ring. He looks around my age. A big cross pendant hangs from a chain on his neck. I know him, but I don't, if that makes sense. I've seen him somewhere. A slim guy in a black and white tracksuit follows him. Dark shades hide his eyes, although the sun's down. He says something to the boy, and 2 gold fangs glisten in his mouth. I nudge Aunt Pooh. That's Supreme. She says around her blow pop. Supreme. I say, like she's supposed to know. She should. My dad's old manager. Oh yeah, I remember him. I don't remember him. I was a toddler when he was around, but I've memorized my dad's story like a song. He recorded his first mixtape at 16. People still used CDs back then, so he made copies and passed them out around the neighborhood. Supreme got one and was so blown away that he begged Dad to let him manage his career. Dad agreed. From there, my dad became an underground legend, and Supreme became a legendary manager. Dad fired Supreme right before he died. Jay claims they had creative differences. The boy with Supreme climbs into the ring. Soon as Hype hands him a mic, he says, "It's your boy Melez with a Z, the swagerific prince." The cheers are loud. He the one with that stupid-ass song. Aunt Pooh says, "That's how I know him. It's called Swagerific, and I swear to God, it's the dumbest song ever. I can't go around the neighborhood without hearing his voice go, Swagerific, so call me terrific. Swagerific, swagerific, swag, swag, swag." There's a dance that goes with it called the Wipe Me Down. Little kids love it. The video's got like 1 million views online. Shout out to my pops, Supreme. Melez says, pointing at him. Supreme nods as people cheer. Well, shit, Aunt Pooh says. You going up against your pop's manager's son? Damn, I guess so. Not just that, but I gotta go up against a somebody. Stupid as that song is, everybody knows Millez and they're already cheering for him. I'm a nobody in comparison, but I'm a nobody who can rap. Swagerific has lines like, life ain't fair, but why should I care? Why should I care? I got dollars in the air. I got dollars, I got dollars, I got dollars. Yeah, this won't be hard, but it also means that losing isn't an option. I'd never live that down. Hype plays a drum roll again. Our next MC is... he says, and a couple of people shout out their own names, as if that'll make him call them. Bree. Aunt Pooh raises my arm high and leads me to the ring. The champ is here. She shouts, like I'm Muhammad Ali. I'm definitely not Ali. I'm scared as hell. I climb into the ring anyway. The spotlight beams in my face. Hundreds of faces stare at me and phones point in my direction. Hype hands me a mic. Introduce yourself, he says. I'm supposed to hype myself up, but all I get out is, I'm Bree. Some of the crowd snicker. Hype chuckles. Okay, Bree. Ain't you Law's daughter? What's that got to do with it? Yeah. Oh, damn. If baby girl is anything like her pops, we bout to hear some heat. The crowd roars. Can't lie, I'm a tad bit annoyed that he mentioned my dad. I get why, but damn. Whether I'm good or not shouldn't have a thing to do with him. He didn't teach me to rap. I taught myself. So why does he get the credit? Time to flip the coin, Hype says. Bree, you get to call it. Tails, I mutter. Hype tosses the coin and slaps it onto the back of his hand. Tails it is. Who's first? I nod toward Millez. I can hardly speak. No way I can go first. Alright. You already out there? For the crowd, it's basically a hell yes. For me, a hell no. But I don't have a choice. 3. The beat starts. Niggas in Paris by Jay-Z and Kanye. My heart pounds harder than the bass in the song. Millez comes up to me. Wah, too close. It gives me a chance to size him up. He talks a lot of shit, but damn, there's fear in his eyes. He starts rapping. I ball so hard, you wish you was like me. I'm fresh down to my Nikes. Spend 100k in a day. The boy don't play. Going broke ain't likely. I ball hard, this hood life crazy. But I am a G, it don't faze me. Ferrari gassed, glocking back. Ready to pop if paparazzi chase me. Okay, I'll give props. Those lines are better than anything in Swagerific, but this boy can't be serious. He's not an uppercase G, a lowercase g, or any kind of G, so why is he claiming that life? He doesn't even live in the hood. Everybody knows Supreme lives in the suburbs now. Yet his son is about that life. Nah, I gotta call him out. Maybe something like, your career. I end it. Your G status is authentic as them gems in your pendant. Ha, that's a good one. He's still rapping about being such a gangster. I smirk, waiting for my turn. Until I ball hard, so why bother? This ain't a battle, more like slaughter. I murder this chick in cold blood, like someone did her whack his father. The fuck. I advance on Millez. What the hell you say? Hype cuts off the music and I hear, whoa, 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 as a couple of people rush into the ring. Aunt Pooh pulls me back. You lil ass shul. I shout. Say it again. Aunt Pooh drags me to the corner. The hell is wrong with you? You heard that shit. Yeah, but you handle him with your bars, not your fists. You trying to get disqualified before you start. I breathe extra hard. That line got you like you wanted it to. She's right. Damn, she's right. The crowd boos. You don't make dicks about my dad to them either. Eh? You all know the rules. No holds barred, Hype says. Even law is fair game in the ring. More boos. Alright. Hype tries to calm everyone down. Millez, that was a low blow, fam. Come on, now. My bad, Millez says into the mic, but he smirks. I'm shaking, that's how much I wanna hit him. Just makes it worse that my throat is all tight, and now I'm almost as pissed at myself as I am at Millez. Bree, you ready? Hype asks. Aunt Pooh pushes me back to the center of the ring. Yeah, I bite out. Alright then, Hype says. Let's get it. The beat starts again. but all the lines in my head suddenly don't exist. I murder this chick in cold blood. I can still hear the gunshots that took him from us. He, like someone did her whack his father. I can still hear Jay wailing. I murder. Whack his father. I can still see him in the coffin, all cold and stiff. Choked. Someone shouts, "Shit." It becomes contagious and turns into a chant. Millie's smirk becomes a grin. His dad chuckles. Hype stops the beat. "Damn," he says. Round one automatically goes to Millie's. I stumble over to my corner. Blanked. Fucking blanked. Aunt Pooh climbs up on the ropes. "What the hell? You let him get to you. Auntie, you know how much you got on the line right now," she says. "This is it. Your chance to blow up, and you gone hand this battle over to him." "No, but..." She pushes me back into the ring. "Shake that shit off." Millers gets palm slaps and fist bumps over in his corner. His dad laughs proudly. I wish I had that. Not Anna's shoal for a dad, but my dad. At this point I'd settle for good memories, not just from the night he was murdered. It happened in front of our old house. He and Jay were going out for date night. Aunt Pooh lived with us back then and agreed to babysit me and Trey while they were gone. Dad kissed us goodbye as we started a game of Mario Kart, and he and Jay walked out the front door. The car cranked up outside. Just as my princess speech gained on Trey's buzzer and Aunt Pooh has told, 5 shots went off. I was only 4, but the sound hasn't left my ears. Then Jay screaming, wailing really, in a way that didn't sound human. Word is, a crown pulled the trigger. The Crowns are the largest King Lord set here on the east side. They may as well be their own gang, big as they are. Dad wasn't a gangbanger, but he was so close to so many guardian disciples that he got caught up in their drama. The Crowns took him out. From everything I've heard, he wouldn't have let anybody make him blank like this. I can't either. Round 2. Hype announces. "Millers, since you won round 1, you decide who goes first." He cheeses. "I got this. Let's take it old school then," says Hype. He scratches the records and the beat starts. Deep Cover by Snoop and Dre. He wasn't kidding about the old school. That was the first song Snoop ever did. The old heads in the gym go crazy. Some of the young ones seem confused. Millers doesn't look at me when he raps, like I'm no longer relevant. "Yo, they call me the Prince. I ain't new to this game. Been plotting for years. And I can't be tamed. You can call me a G. Your son wish he was me, and every girl with a pulse. Falls inevitably. I get money, like it's going out of style. All my whips brand new. I got Jordan on the dial. Rule numero uno of battling. Know your opponent's weakness. Nothing he's spit this round is directed at me. That may not seem like a red flag, but right now it's a huge one. I blanked. A real MC would go for the kill because of that. Hell, I'd go for it. He's not even mentioning it. That means there's a 98% chance this is pre-written. Pre-written is a no-no in the ring. A bigger no-no. Pre-written by someone else. I don't know if he wrote those lines. Maybe he did, but I can make everyone think he didn't. Dirty as hell. Absolutely. But since my dad isn't off limits, not a damn thing is off limits. Rule number 2 of battling: use the circumstances to your advantage. Supreme doesn't look too worried, but trust, he should be. That goes in my arsenal. Rule number 3: if there's a beat, make sure your flow fits like a glove. Flow is the rhythm of the rhymes, and every word, every syllable, affects it. Even the way a word is pronounced can change the flow. While most people know Snoop and Dre for Deep Cover, one time I found a remake of it by this rapper named Big Pun on YouTube. His flow on this song was one of the best I've ever heard in my life. Maybe I can mimic it. Maybe I can wipe that dumb smirk off Millie's face. Maybe I can actually win. Millie stops, and the beat fades off. He gets a couple of cheers, but not many. The ring loves punchlines, not weak lines about yourself. "Okay, I hear you," Hype says. "Bree, your go. My ideas are spread out like puzzle pieces. Now I gotta put them all together into something that makes sense." The beat starts again. I nod along. There's nothing but me, the music, and Millie's. The words have strung themselves together into rhymes and into a flow, and I let it all come tumbling out. Ready for war, Millers. Nah, you fucked up this time. Should address this cipher to the writer, the biter, who really wrote them rhymes. Come at Brianna, you wanna get buried? Spit like a legend, feminine weapon. I reckon your own father's worried. Bow down, baby, get down on your knees. You got paper, but I'm greater. Ask your clique, and while you at it ask Supreme. Straight from the garden where people dearly departin'. Screw a pardon, I'm hardened, and Millay's heart is on back of milk cartons. It's Mia, and this is judgment. I stop. The crowd is going bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. What? Hype shouts. What? Even the rough and tough-looking dudes bounce up and down with their fists at their mouths going, oh, what? Hype shouts again, and he plays a siren. The siren. The one he uses when an MC spits something dope. Brianna Marie Jackson, got the siren. Holy shit. She came with the pun flow. Hype says, somebody get a water hose. We can't handle the heat. We can't handle it. This is magical. I thought the reactions I'd get when I freestyled for Aunt Pooh's friends were something. This is a new level, like when Luke went from being just Luke to Jedi-ass Luke. Millez, I'm sorry, but she murdered you in a couple of bars, Hype says. Call the DA. This is a homicide scene. Judges, what you all think? All of them left signs with my name on it. The crowd goes wilder. Bree wins it, Hype says. Millez nervously rubs the peach fuzz on his chin. I grin. Got him. Let's get to the final round, Hype says. We're at a tie, and whoever wins this one wins it all. Bree, who goes first? Him, I say. Let him get his garbage out the way. A bunch of woos echo around us. Yeah, I said it. Millez, you better come correct, Hype says. Let's get it. The beat starts. Shook Ones, by Mobb Deep. It's slower than Deep Cover, but it's perfect for freestyling. In every YouTube battle I watched, shit got real whenever the beat dropped. Millez glares at me as he raps. Something about how much money he has, how many girls like him, his clothes, his jewelry, the gangster life he's living. Repetitive, stale, Puritan. I gotta go for the kill. Here I'm, going at him as if I don't have any manners. Manners. A lot of words rhyme with it if I deliver them right. Cameras. Rappers. Pamper. Hammer MC Hammer. Vanilla Ice. Hip-hop heads consider them pop stars, not real rappers. I can compare him to them. I gotta get my signature line in there. You can only spell brilliant by first spelling Bree. Aunt Pooh once pointed that out right before teasing me about being such a perfectionist. Perfection. I can use that. Perfection. Protection. Election. Election presidents. Presidents are leaders. Leader. Either. Ether. Like that song where Nas went in on Jay-Z. I need to get something in there about his name too. Millez. Miles per hour. Speed. Light speed. Then I need to end with something about myself. Millez lowers the mic. There are a couple of cheers. Supreme claps, yet his face is hard. Okay, I see you, Millez. Hype says. Bree, you better bring the heat. The instrumental starts up again. Aunt Pooh said I only get one chance to let everybody and their mama know who I am. So I take it. My apologies. See, I forgot my manners. I get on the mic 'cause it's my life. You show off for girls and cameras. You a pop star, not a rapper. A Vanilla Ice or a Hammer. You all hear the scrap he dumping out. Somebody get him a pamper. And a crown for me. The best have heard about me. You can only spell brilliant by first spelling Bree. You see, naturally, I do my shit with perfection. Better call a bodyguard, 'cause you gone need some protection. And on this here election, the people crown a new leader. You didn't see this coming, and your ghostwriters didn't either. I came here to ether. I'm sorry to do this to you. This is no longer a battle, it's your funeral, boo. I'm murdering you. On my corner they call me coroner, I'm warning ya. Tell the truth, this dude is boring, yeah. You confused like a foreigner. I'll explain with ease. You're just a casualty in the reality of the madness of Bree. No fallacies, I spit melodies, caution, fatalities, and do it casually, damaging rappers without bandaging. Imagining managing my own label, my own salary. And actually, factually, there's no MC that's as bad as me. Milla is. That's cute. But it don't make me cower. I move at light speed. You stuck at per hour. You spits like a lisp. I spit like a high power. Briz the future, and you today like Metlower. You coward. But you're edgy. It ain't convincing to me. You talk about your clothes, about your shopping sprees. You talk about your Glock, about your ICE. But in this here ring, they all talking about me, Bree. The crowd goes nuts. I told y'all. Aunt Pooh shouts as she stands on the ropes. I told y'all. Miles can't look at me or his dad, who seems to glare at him. He could be glaring at me, too. Hard to tell behind those shades. Alright, y'all. Hype tries to calm everyone down as he comes from behind the turntables. It's down to this vote. Whoever takes this one is the winner. Judges, who y'all got? Mr. Jimmy raises his sign. It says Bree. D-Nice raises his sign. Bree. CZ raises his sign. Lil Law. Holy shit. We have a winner. Hype says to thunderous cheers. He raises my arm into the air. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of tonight's Rookie Royale, Bree. 4 hours after my battle, I dream my nightmare. I'm 5 years old, climbing into my mom's old Lexus. Daddy went to heaven almost a year ago. Aunt Pooh has been gone a couple of months. She went to live with her and Mommy's auntie in the projects. I locked my seatbelt in place, and Mommy holds my overstuffed backpack toward me. Her arm has all these dark marks in it. She once told me she got them because she wasn't feeling well. You're still sick, Mommy? I ask. She follows my eyes and rolls her sleeve down. Yeah, baby, she whispers. My brother gets in the car beside me, and Mommy says we're going on a trip to somewhere special. We end up in her grandparents' driveway. Suddenly, Trey's eyes widen. He begs her not to do this. Seeing him cry makes me cry. Mommy tells him to take me inside, but he won't. She gets out, goes around to his side, unlocks his seatbelt, and tries to pull him out the car, but he digs his feet into the seat. She grabs his shoulders. Trey, I need you to be my little man, she says, her voice shaky. For your sister's sake. Okay. He looks over at me and quickly wipes his face. I'm okay, lil bit, he claims, but the cry hiccups break up his words. It's okay. He unlocks my seatbelt, takes my hand, and helps me out the car. Mommy hands us our backpacks. Be good, okay? She says. Do what your grandparents tell you to do. When are you coming back? I ask. She kneels in front of me. Her shaky fingers brush through my hair, then cup my cheek. I'll be back later. I promise. Later when? Later. I love you, okay. She presses her lips to my forehead and keeps them there for the longest. She does the same to Trey, then straightens up. Mommy, when are you coming back? I ask again. She gets in the car without answering me and cranks it up. Tears stream down her cheeks. Even at 5, I know she won't be back for a long time. I drop my backpack and chase the car down the driveway. Mommy, don't leave me. But she goes into the street, and I'm not supposed to go into the street. Mommy, I cry. Her car goes, and soon, it's gone. Mommy, Mom, Brianna. I jolt awake. Jay's sitting on the side of my bed. Baby, are you okay? I try to catch my breath as I wipe the dampness from my eyes. Yeah, were you having a nightmare? A nightmare that's a memory. Jay really did leave me and Trey at her grandparents' house. She couldn't take care of us and her drug habit, too. That's when I learned that when people die, they sometimes take the living with them. I saw her in the park a few months later, looking more like a red-eyed, scaly-skinned dragon than my mommy. I started calling her Jay after that. There was no way she was my mom anymore. It became my own habit that was hard to break. Still is. It took 3 years and a rehab stint for her to come back. Even though she was clean, some judge decided that she could only have me and Trey every other weekend and on some holidays. She didn't get us back full-time until 5 years ago, after she got her job and started renting this place. 5 years back with her, and yet I still dream about her leaving us. It hits me out of nowhere sometimes. But Jay can't know I dream about it. It'll make her feel guilty, and then I'll feel guilty for making her feel guilty. It was nothing, I tell her. She sighs and pushes up off the bed. Okay, go ahead and get up. We need to have a little talk before you head to school. About what? How you could tell me you won in the ring, but you couldn't tell me your grades are dropping faster than Pooh's sagging ass pants. Huh? She mocks, and shows me her phone. I got an email from your poetry teacher, Mrs. Murray. The conversation in ACT prep. Oh, hell. Honestly, I forgot. I was floating after my battle, for real. That feeling when the crowd cheered for me is probably what getting high is like, and I'm addicted. I don't know what to say to my mom. I'm sorry. Sorry nothing. What's your main responsibility, Bree? Education over everything, I mumble. Exactly. Education over everything, including rapping. I thought I made that clear. It's not that big of a deal though, dang. Jay raises her eyebrows. Girl, she says in that slow way that sends a warning. You better check yourself. I'm just saying, some parents wouldn't make a big deal out of this. Well gosh golly darn, I'm not some parents. You can do better, you've done better, so do better. Only C's I wanna see your pictures of C's. The only D's I better see your D's grades improving. We clear. I swear she's so hard on me. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Get ready for school. She leaves. God damn, I mutter under my breath. Killing my vibe, first thing in the morning. You ain't got no vibe, she hollers from the hall. I can't ever say shit in this house. I get up, and almost immediately I wanna get back under my covers. That first feel of the chill in the air is always the hardest. Moving around helps. The ladies of hip-hop watch from the wall beside my bed. I've got some of everybody, from MC Light to Missy Elliott to Nicki Minaj Rhapsody. The list goes on and on. I figure if I wanna be a queen should watch over me when I sleep. I throw my Vader hoodie back on and slip on my Notams. Nah, they're not the real deal. The real deal costs a water bill. These cost $20 at the swap meet. I try to pull them off like they're Tums except shit, I hiss. Some of the black leather on one has rubbed off, revealing white cloth. This happened to the other last week. I take a black Sharpie and go to work. Ratchet, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Soon I'm getting some real Tims though. I've been saving the money I make from my snack dealing. Aunt Pooh buys my stock and lets me keep the profits. It's the closest Jay will let her get to giving me money. Thanks to the kids at Midtown, I'm about halfway to a pair of brand new Tims. Technically, we're not supposed to sell stuff on school campus, but I've gotten away with it so far. Shout out to Michelle Obama. That health kick of hers made the school take the good stuff from the vending machines and made my business very lucrative. A horn blows outside. It's 7:15, so it's gotta be Mr. Watson, the bus driver. He claims that even when he's dead, he'll be on time. If his zombie ass pulls up in the bus one day, I am not climbing on board. I'm gone, I call to Jay. Trey's bedroom door is closed. He's probably knocked out. He gets home from work when I'm almost gone to bed, and he leaves for work when I am at school. A short yellow bus waits out front. Midtown the school is in Midtown the neighborhood, where people live in nice condos and expensive historic houses. I live in Garden High Zone, but Jay says there's too much bullshit and not enough people who care there. Private school's not in our budget, so Midtown School of the Arts is the next best thing. A few years ago, they started busing students in from all over the city. They called it their diversity initiative. Jay calls it their they needed grant money and wouldn't nobody give it to them for just a bunch of white kids initiative. You've got rich kids from the north side, middle class kids from downtown and Midtown, and hood kids like me. There's only 15 of us from the garden at Midtown, so they send a short bus for us. Mr. Watson wears his Santa hat and hums along with the Temptations version of Silent Night that plays on his phone. Christmas is less than 2 weeks away, but Mr. Watson has been in the holiday spirit for months. Hey, Mr. Watson, I say. Hey, Brianna. Cold enough for you. Too cold. Oh, ain't no such thing. This the perfect weather. For what? Freezing your ass off. If you say so, I mumble, and head toward the back. I'm his third pickup. Shanna's dozing up front, her head just barely touching the window. She's not about to mess up her bun, nap or not. All the 11th grade dancers look exhausted these days. Dion nods at me from his seat in the very back, his saxophone case propped up beside him. Dion's a junior too, but since he's in the music program, I only ever see him on the bus. Hey, Bree. Let me get a Snickers. I sit a couple of rows ahead of him. You got Snickers money. He tosses me a balled-up dollar. I toss the candy bar back to him. Thanks. You killed it in the ring. You know about that? Yeah. Saw the battle on YouTube. My cousin texted it to me. He said you got next. Dang, I got folks talking like that. I definitely had the ring talking. I could barely get out of there last night without somebody telling me how dope I was. It was the first time I realized I can do this. I mean, it's one thing to want to do something. It's another to think it's possible. Rapping has been my dream forever, but dreams aren't real. You wake up from them or reality makes them seem stupid. Trust, every time my fridge is almost empty, all of my dreams seem stupid. But between my win and Dina's deal, anything feels possible right now. Or I'm that desperate for things to change. The garden passes by my window. Older folks water their flowers or bring out their trash cans. A couple of cars blast music on high. Seems normal, but things haven't been the same since the riots. The neighborhood doesn't feel nearly as safe. Not that the garden was ever a utopia, hell no, but before I only worried about GDS and crowns. Now I gotta worry about the cops too. Yeah, people get killed around here, and nah, it's not always by the police. But Jay says this was like having a stranger come in your house, steal one of your kids, and blame you for it because your family was dysfunctional, while the whole world judges you for being upset. Zane, a senior with a nose ring, gets on the bus. He's stuck up as hell. Sonny says Zane thinks he's fine, but Sonny and I also agree that he is fine. It's an internal struggle, being annoyed by his ass and being mesmerized by his face. And if I'm real, being mesmerized by his ass. Boy's got a donk. He never speaks to me, but today he goes, "Your battle was fire, ma." Well, goddamn. Thanks. How many people have seen it? I of the freshman saw it. She gives me props soon as she gets on. So do Kiona, Navia, and Jabari, the sophomores. Before I know it, I'm the talk of the short bus. You got skills, Bree. I was geeking the whole time. Bet she couldn't beat me in a battle. On God, bro. That little dig is from Curtis Brinkley, this short, wavy-haired, brown-skinned boy who puts a lot of lies on God, bro. In 5th grade, he claimed that Rihanna was his cousin and that his mom was on the road with her, working as her hairstylist. In 6th grade, he said his mom was on tour with Beyoncé as her hairstylist. Really, his mom was in prison. She still is. Mr. Watson pulls up at Sonny's and Malik's houses. They live next door to each other, but they both come out of Malik's front door. I take off my snapback. My edges still need help, but I laid them as best as I could earlier. I put on some lip gloss, too. It's stupid as hell, but I'm hoping Malik notices. I notice way too much about him, like the way his eyes sometimes get this glint about them that makes me think he knows every secret there is about me, and he's cool with them all. Like the fact that he's fine. And the fact that he doesn't realize he's fine, which somehow makes him even finer. Like the way my heart speeds up every time he says, "Breezy." He's the only one who calls me that, and when he says it, he stretches it slightly, in a way that nobody else can really imitate. Like he wants the name to only belong to him. All these feelings started when we were 10. I have this real clear memory of us wrestling in Malik's front yard. I was The Rock and he was John Cena. We were obsessed with wrestling videos on YouTube. I pinned Malik down, and while sitting on top of him in his front yard, I suddenly wanted to kiss him. It freaked me out. So I punched him and said in my best The Rock voice, "I'm laying the smack down on your candy ass." Basically, I tried to ignore my sexual awakening by imitating The Rock. I was so weirded out by the whole thing. Those feelings didn't go away either. But I told myself over and over again that he's Malik. Best friend extraordinaire. Look to my Leah. Yet here I am, using my phone to check my pink pursuit lip gloss. Who comes up with these names? Hoping he'll see me some kind of way, too. Pathetic. Why won't you admit I whooped that ass? Sonny asks him as they climb on board. Like I said, my controller was acting funny, Malik claims. We got a rematch. Fine. I'll still whoop your bray. Sonny dances down the aisle to a beat nobody hears. When he gets close, he bows like he's worshipping me. All hail the ring queen. I laugh. Queen I am not. Well, you killed it, Yoda. We slap palms and end with the Wakanda salute. Wakanda forever. Malik shrugs. I won't say I told you so. But I won't say I didn't tell you so, either. That doesn't make sense, I tell him. Sonny sits on the seat in front of me. Nope. Malik plops down beside me. It's a double negative. No, Mr. Film Major, I say. As a literary arts major, I can assure that's just a mess. You basically said that you won't say you told me so. His eyebrows meet and his mouth drops slightly open. Confused Malik is so damn cute. What? Exactly. Stick with filmmaking, boo. Agreed, says Sonny. Anyway, that battle was ridiculous, Bree. Except when you just stood there at that first round. I was about to pull a Mariah Carey, I don't know her, on you. I punch his arm. Troll. But seriously, you killed it, Sonny says. Melez, on the other hand, needs to stop rapping. Malik nods. He Jar Jar Binks that. Malik insists that Jar Jar Binks should be a verb, adjective, and an adverb to describe whack stuff because Jar Jar Binks is the worst character in the Star Wars universe. Bro, you know that's never gonna catch on, right? Sonny asks him, but it makes sense. Wanna say something is whack? Call it to Jar Jar Binks. Okay. You're a Jar Jar Binks, Sonny says. Got it. Malik thumps Sonny's forehead. Sonny punches Malik's shoulder. They go back and forth, punching and swatting at each other. Totally normal. In fact, a Sonny and Malik fight is one of the few things guaranteed in life, right up there with death, taxes, and Kanye West rants. Sonny's phone buzzes, and suddenly Malik no longer exists. His face lights up almost as bright as the screen. I sit up a little and stretch my neck. Who you texting? Dang, bish. Nosy ass. I stretch some more to try and see the name on the screen, but Sonny dims it so I can't. I only catch the heart eyes emoji next to the name. I raise my eyebrows. Is there someone you'd like to tell me about, sir? Sonny glances around, almost like he's afraid somebody heard me. Everybody's having their own conversations though. Still, he says, later, Bree. Considering how he's on edge, there must be a guy. When we were 11, Sonny came out to me. We were watching Justin Bieber perform at some awards show. I thought he was cute, but I wasn't obsessed with him like Sonny was. Sonny turned to me and blurted out, I think I only like boys. It was out of nowhere. Sorta. There were little things here and there that made me wonder. Like how he'd print out pictures of Bieber and secretly carry them around. How he acted around my brother if Dre liked something. Sonny suddenly loved it. If Dre spoke to him, Sonny blushed. And if Dre got a girlfriend, Sonny acted like it was the end of the world. But I can't lie, I didn't really know what to say at the time. So I just told him, okay, and left it at that. He told Malik not long after and asked if they could still be friends. Apparently, Malik was like, long as we can still play PlayStation. Sonny told his parents, too, and they've always been cool with it. But I guess sometimes he's afraid of how other people will act if they know. The bus pulls up at an intersection, beside a cluster of bleary-eyed kids. Their breath turns to smoke around them as they wait for the bus to Garden High. Curtis lets his window down. Basics. Talk that shit you were saying yesterday. School pride turns us into gangs. We call the kids from Garden Heights basics, 'cause we say they're basic as hell. They call us short bus nerds. Man, fuck your little lollipop head looking ass. A boy in a bubble vest says, bet you won't get off that bus and say shit to my face. I smirk. Keander tells no lies. He looks at me. Bree. You did your thing in the ring, baby girl. I let my window down. Some of the other kids nod or say, "Bid up, Bree." If school pride makes us gangs, I'm neutral thanks to my dad. You saw the battle. I ask you, Anda. Hell yeah. Props, Queen. See, around the neighborhood, I'm royalty. Everybody shows love. But when the bus pulls up at Midtown, I'm nothing. At Midtown you have to be great for anyone to notice you. Brilliant, actually. And it's like everybody's trying to outdo everyone else. It's all about who got lead in this play or that recital, who won that award for their writing or their art, whose vocal range is the best. It's a popularity contest on steroids. If you're not exceptional, you're a nobody. I'm the exact opposite of exceptional. My grades are so-so. I don't win awards. Nothing I do is enough. I'm not enough. Except for when I'm too much for my teachers to handle and they send me to the principal's office. On the school steps, a couple of boys do wipe me down, dance as Miles goes swag, swag, swag on one of their phones. Don't know why they're torturing themselves with that garbage. So I grip my backpack straps. What are you all doing at lunch? I've got SAT prep, Sonny says. Damn, you're doing both. I ask. Sonny's more obsessed with his college stuff than G is. He shrugs. Gotta do what I gotta do. What about you? I ask Malik, and suddenly, my heart beats super fast at the idea of lunch alone with him. But he frowns. Sorry, Bree. Gotta go to the lab and work on this documentary. He holds up his camera. Welp, so much for my idea. I probably won't see either of them until we get back on the bus. See, Sonny and Malik have their groups at Midtown. Unfortunately for me, Sonny and Malik are my group. When they are with their groups, I have nothing on top of being nobody. They are both pretty damn brilliant, too. Everybody in visual arts loves Sonny's graffiti pieces. Malik's won a couple of awards for his short films. I just got to get through one more year in this place. One more year of being quiet, unassuming Bree who stays to herself as her friends get their glow-ups. Yeah, we get in line for security. Think Long and Tate have calmed down since yesterday? Sonny asks. Probably not. They're always power tripping. Last week, they put Curtis through an extra security screening, even though the metal detector didn't beep when he went through. They claimed they wanted to be sure. I'm telling y'all, the way they do security is not normal, Malik says. My mom doesn't do people like this, and she deals with criminals. Malik's mom, Aunt Chell, is one of the security guards at the courthouse. You all do realize they've gotten worse since last year, right? Says Malik. Seeing that cop get away with murder probably made them think they're invincible too. You might be onto something, Malik X, says Sonny. That's been her nickname for Malik since the riots. The whole situation shook him up. It shook me up too, can't lie, but Malik's been on another level, always talking about social justice and reading up on stuff like the Black Panthers. Before the riots, the only Black Panther he cared about was Chala. We need to do something, he says. This isn't okay. Just ignore them, says Sonny. They're more talk than anything. Curtis goes through the metal detector with no problems. Then Shanna, Dion, the three sophomores, Zane. Next it's Sonny, followed by Malik. I stroll through after him. The metal detector doesn't beep, but Long puts his arm out in front of me. Go back. Why? I ask. Because he said so, says Tate. But it didn't beep, I say. I don't care, Long says. I told you to go back through. Fine. I go through the metal detector again. No beep. Hand over the bag, Long says. Oh, shit. My candy stash. If they find it, I could get suspended for selling on campus. Considering how much I've been suspended over other stuff, shit, I may get expelled. Hand over the bag, Long says. I swallow. I don't have to. Oh, you got something to hide. Long says. No, put that camera away. Tate tells Malik. He's got it out and pointed at us. I can record if I want. Hand over the bag. Long tells me. No, you know what? He reaches for my backpack strap, but I snatch it away. By the look that flashes across his eyes, I shouldn't have done that. He grabs my arm. Give me that backpack. I yank away. Get your hands off me. Everything happens in a blur. He grabs my arm again and pulls it behind me. The other one goes behind me too. I try to yank and tug away, which only makes his grip tighter. Before I know it, my chest hits the ground first, then my face is pressed against the cold floor. Long's knee goes onto my back as Tate removes my backpack. Yo, what the fuck? Sonny shouts. Get off of her. Malik says, camera pointed at us. You brought something in here, huh? Long says. He wraps plastic around my wrists and pulls it tight. That's why you didn't want us to see it, huh? You lil hoodlum. Where's all that mouth you had yesterday? I can't say a word. He's not a cop. He doesn't have a gun. But I don't want to end up like that boy. I want my mom. I want my dad. I want to go home. 5. I end up in Principal Rhodes' office. My arms are tied behind me. Long dragged me in here and made me sit down a few minutes ago. He's in Dr. Rhodes' office now. She told her secretary, Miss Clark, to call my mom and keep an eye on me, like I'm the one who needs to be watched. Miss Clark looks through my files on her computer for Jay's work number. Surprised she doesn't know it by heart by now. I stare straight ahead. The office has inspirational posters on every wall. One is a complete lie. You can't control what other people do. You can only control the way that you react. No, you can't. Not when your arm is jerked behind you, or you're lying on the floor with a knee in your back. You can't control shit then. Miss Clark picks up her phone and dials. After a couple of seconds, she goes, Hi, this is Midtown School of the Arts. May I speak to Mrs. Jada Jackson, please? Jay answers the phones at Christ Temple, so I expect Miss Clark to go right into explaining the situation to her. But she frowns. Oh, I see. Thank you. She hangs up. Weird. What did my mom say? I was told that your mother doesn't work there anymore. Is there another way to reach her? I sit up as best as I can. What? Should I try her cell phone or her home phone? Are you sure you called Christ Temple Church? Positive, Miss Clark says. Cell phone or home phone? My heart stops. The Popkent Church. Jay only gets it when something bad happens. Did she? Did she lose her job? She couldn't have. Miss Clark's got it wrong somehow. She probably called the wrong place and just doesn't realize it. Yeah, that's it. I tell Miss Clark to try Jay's cell phone. About 15 minutes later, the office door flies open, and Jay storms in. She's in her work clothes, so she must have left the church. Brianna, what in the world happened? She kneels in front of me and looks me over, almost like she did when she came back from rehab. Her eyes couldn't get enough of me. Now they examine every inch of me. Except my hands. She whirls around on the secretary. Why the hell is my daughter handcuffed? Dr. Rhodes appears in her doorway. Her glasses take up most of her face, and her curly red hair is in a bun. She was the principal back when Trey went here, too. I met her at his freshman welcome night. She gave me this sugary sweet smile and said, hopefully in a few years, you'll join us too. She didn't say there would be a security guard ranting in her office about those kids bringing that stuff into this school. The door was closed, but I heard him. Those kids. This school. Like one doesn't belong with the other. Mrs. Jackson, Dr. Rhodes says, may we please have a word in my office? Not until my daughter is released. Dr. Rhodes looks back over her shoulder. Mr. Long, would you please release Brianna? He lumbers out and removes the little scissors hanging from a clip on his waist. He grumbles, stand up. I do, and with one little snip my hands are uncuffed. Jay immediately cups my cheeks. Are you okay, baby? Mrs. Jackson, my office, please. Dr. Rhodes says, you too, Brianna. We follow her in. The look she gives Long tells him to stay outside. My backpack sits on top of her desk. It's unzipped, revealing every pack of candy I had. Dr. Rhodes points at the two chairs in front of her. Please, have a seat. We do. Are you going to tell me why my daughter was handcuffed? Jay asks. There was an incident, obviously. I will be the first to admit that the guards used excessive force. They put Brianna on the floor. Through, I mumble. They threw me on the floor. Jay's eyes widen. Excuse me. We've had issues with students bringing illegal drugs. That doesn't explain why they manhandled my child, says Jay. Brianna was not cooperative at first. It still doesn't explain it. Jay says. Dr. Rhodes takes a deep breath. It will not happen again, Mrs. Jackson. I assure you that there will be an investigation and disciplinary action will take place if the administration sees fit. However, Brianna may have to face disciplinary action as well. She turns to me. Brianna, have you been selling candy on campus? I fold my arms. I'm not answering that shit. And let her turn this around on me. Hell no. Answer her, Jay tells me. It's only candy, I mumble. Maybe so, says Dr. Rhodes, but it's against school policy to sell contraband on campus. Contraband. The only reason you all found out about it is because Long and Tate like to go after the black and Latinx kids. Brianna, Jay says. It's not a warning. It's an, I got this. She turns to Rhodes. Since when is candy contraband? Why did they come after my daughter in the first place? The security guards have the right to conduct random searches. I can assure you that Brianna was not targeted. Bullshit. I don't even bite my tongue. They always harass us. It may seem that way. It is that way. Brianna, Jay says. That's a warning. She turns to the principal. Dr. Rhodes, my son told me that the guards picked on certain kids more than others when he was here. I don't think my children are making this up. I'd hate to think you're saying that. There will be an investigation, Dr. Rhodes says so calmly. It pisses me off, but I stand by what I said, Mrs. Jackson. The guards treat all of the students the same. Oh, says Jay. They throw them all on the floor, huh? Silence. Dr. Rhodes clears her throat. Again, Brianna was not cooperative. I was told she was argumentative and aggressive. This is not the first time we've had behavioral issues with her. Here we go. What are you trying to say? Jay asks. Today's behavior follows a pattern. Yes, a pattern of my daughter being targeted again. No one is targeting. Do the white girls who make slick comments get sent to your office every other week too? Jay asks. Mrs. Jackson, Brianna is frequently aggressive. Aggressive. One word, 3 syllables. Rhymes with excessive. I'm so excessive that I'm aggressive. Aggressive is used to describe me a lot. It's supposed to mean threatening, but I've never threatened anybody. I just say stuff that my teachers don't like. All of them except Mrs. Murray, who happens to be my only black teacher. There was the time in history class during Black History Month. I asked Mr. Kincaid why we don't ever talk about black people before slavery. His pale cheeks reddened. Because we're following a lesson plan, Brianna, he said. Yeah, but don't you come up with the lesson plans? I asked. I will not tolerate outbursts in class. I'm just saying, don't act like black people didn't exist before. He told me to go to the office. Wrote me up as being aggressive. Fiction class. Mrs. Burns was talking about the literary canon, and I rolled my eyes because all the books sounded boring as shit. She asked if there was a problem, and I told her exactly that, just without saying a shit. She sent me to the office. I mumbled something under my breath on the way out, and she wrote me up for aggressive behavior. Can't forget the incident in my theatre elective. We'd done the same scene 100 times. Mr. Ito told us to start from the top yet again. I sucked my teeth and went, oh my god, throwing my hands at my sides. My script flew from my grasp and hit him. He swore I intentionally threw it. That got me a 2-day suspension. That's all from this year. Freshman year and sophomore year were full of incidents, too. Now I've got another under my belt. Per school policy, Brianna will have to serve a 3-day suspension for selling banned items on school property without permission, Dr. Rhodes says. She zips up my backpack and hands it to me. We go into the hallway just as the bell for second period rings. Classroom doors open, and it seems like everybody and their mama pour into the halls. I get second glances I've never gotten before, and stares and whispers. I'm no longer invisible, but now I wish I was. I'm quiet on the ride home. Hoodlum. 1 word, 2 syllables. Can be made to rhyme with a lot of things. Synonyms. thug, delinquent, hooligan, loaf, gangster, and, according to Long, Brianna, can't no good come from this hoodlum. Nah, fuck that word, fuck that school, fuck all of this. I stared at what's left of the garden. We're on Clover Street, which used to be one of the busiest streets in Garden Heights, but ever since the riots, there's a bunch of charred rubble and boarded-up buildings. The Mega Dollar Store was one of the first to get hit. Cellular Express got looted first and then burned down. Shop in Safe burned down to the frame, and now we have to go to the Walmart on the edge of the garden or the little store over on the west if we want to get groceries. I'm a hoodlum from a bunch of nothing. Doubt they'll ever fix this mess, Jay says. It's like they want us to remember what happens when we step out of line. She glances over at me. You okay, Bookie? According to my granddaddy, Jacksons don't cry, we suck it up and deal with it. Doesn't matter how much my eyes burn. I didn't do anything wrong. No, you didn't, Jay says. You had every right to keep your backpack. But Bree, promise me, if that ever happens again, you'll do what they tell you to do. What? Bad things can happen, baby. People like that sometimes abuse their power. So I don't have any power. You have more than you know. But in moments like that, she swallows. I need you to act as if you don't have any. Once you're safely out of the situation, then we'll handle it. But I need you safely out of the situation. Okay. This is like that talk she gave me about the cops. Do whatever they tell you to do, she said. Don't make them think you're a threat. Basically, weaken myself and take whatever is thrown at me so I can survive that moment. I'm starting to think it doesn't matter what I do. I'll still be whatever people think I'm. They're always on my case at that school. I know, Jay says. And it's not fair. But you only have to get through 2 more years, baby. All these incidents. We can't risk you getting expelled, Bree. If that means keeping your mouth shut, I need you to do it. I can't speak up for myself. You pick your battles, she says. Not everything deserves a comment or an eye roll or an attitude. I'm not the only one who does that stuff. No, but girls like you are the only ones getting hits on their permanent record. The car goes quiet. Jay sighs out of her nose. Sometimes the rules are different for black folks, baby, she says. Hell, sometimes they're playing checkers while we're in a complicated-ass chess game. It's an awful fact of life, but it's a fact. Midtown is unfortunately one of those places where you not only got to play chess, but you got to play it by a different set of rules. I hate this shit. I don't want to go back there. I understand, but we don't have any other options. Why can't I go to Garden High? Because your daddy and I swore that you and Trey would never step foot in that school, she says. You think the guards are bad at Midtown. They have actual cops at Garden High, Bree. The damn school is treated like a prison. They don't set anybody up to succeed. Say what you want about Midtown, but you've got a better chance there. A better chance at what? Getting tossed around like a rag doll. A better chance at making it. She's louder than me. She takes a deep breath. You're gonna face a whole lot of longs and tates in your life, baby. More than I'd like. But you never let their actions determine what you do. The moment you do, you've given them the power. You hear me? Yeah, but does she hear me? Neither of us speaks for the longest. I wish I could give you more options, baby. I do. We don't have any, especially right now. Especially right now. I look over at her. Did something happen? She shifts in her seat a little. Why you say that? Miss Clark called the church. They said you don't work there anymore. Brianna, let's not talk about— Oh, God. You lost your job. This is temporary, okay? You lost your job. She swallows. Yes, I did. Oh no. 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 The church daycare got damaged during the riots, and the insurance company isn't covering the damages, she says. Pastor and the elders board had to adjust the budget in order to pay for repairs, so they let me go. Shit. I'm not stupid. Jay tries to act like everything's all good, but we're struggling. We already don't have gas. Last month, we got an eviction notice. Jay used most of her check to cover their rent, and we ate sandwiches until her next payday. But if she lost her job, she won't have a payday. If she doesn't have a payday, we might not ever have gas again, or food, or a house. What if? Don't worry, Bree, Jay says. God's got us, baby. The same God who let her get laid off from a church. I've been going on interviews, she says. Left one to pick you up, actually. Plus, I've already filed for unemployment. It's not a lot, but it's something. She's already filed. How long have you been away from the church? That's not important. Yes, it is. No, it's not, she says. Trey and I are taking care of things. Trey knew. She opens and closes her mouth a couple of times. Yes. Figures. When the gas got cut off, Trey knew it was gonna happen. I found out when I woke up in a cold house. The eviction notice. Trey knew. I found out when I overheard them talking about it. I wish it didn't bother me, but it does. It's like Jay doesn't trust me enough to tell me the important stuff. Like she thinks I'm too young to handle it. I handled her being gone for years. I can handle more than she thinks. She parks in her driveway behind Trey's old Honda Civic, then turns toward me, but I look out my window. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit immature. Whatever. I know you're worried, she says. Things have been tough for a while, but it's gonna get better. Somehow, some way. We gotta believe that, baby. She reaches for my cheek. I move away and open my door. I'm going for a walk. Jay grabs my arm. Brianna, wait. I'm shaking. Here I'm, worried about real problems, and she wants me to believe. Please, let me go. No, I'm not letting you run instead of talk to me. Today's been a lot, baby. I'm fine. She runs her thumb along my arm, like she's trying to coax the tears out of me. No, you're not. It's okay if you're not. You do know you don't have to be strong all the time, right? Maybe not all the time, but I have to be right now. I tug away from her. I'm fine. Brianna, I throw my hoodie over my head and march down the sidewalk. Sometimes I dream that I'm drowning. It's always in a big blue ocean that's too deep for me to see the bottom. But I tell myself I'm not going to die no matter how much water gets in my lungs or how deep I sink. I am not going to die, because I say so. Suddenly, I can breathe underwater. I can swim. The ocean isn't so scary anymore. It's actually kinda cool. I even learn how to control it. But I'm awake, I'm drowning, and I don't know how to control any of this. 6. The Maple Grove projects are a whole different world. I live on the east side of the garden, where the houses are nicer, the homeowners are older, and the gunshots aren't as frequent. The Maple Grove projects are a 15-minute walk away on the west side, or as Grandma calls it, that old rough side. It's on the news more, and so many of the houses look like nobody should live in them. But it's kinda like saying one side of the Death Star is safer than the other. It's still the goddamn Death Star. At Maple Grove, 6 3-story buildings sit close enough to the freeway that Aunt Pooh says they used to go on the rooftops and throw rocks at the cars. But says, there was a 7th building, but it burned down a few years ago, and instead of rebuilding it, the state tore it down. Now there's a grassy field in its place where kids go play. The playground is for junkies. It up, Lil Law, a guy shouts from inside a raggedy car as I cross the parking lot. Never seen him in my life, but I wave. I'll always be my dad's daughter if nothing else. He should be here. Maybe if he was, I wouldn't be wondering how we're gonna make it since Jay doesn't have a job. I swear, we can never just be good. Something always happens. Either we barely got food or this thing got shut off. It's always something. We can't have any power, either. I mean, think about it. All these people I've never met have way more control over my life than I've ever had. If some crown hadn't killed my dad, he'd be a big rap star and money wouldn't be an issue. If some drug dealer hadn't sold my mom her first hit, she could have gotten her degree already and would have a good job. If that cop hadn't murdered that boy, people wouldn't have rioted, the daycare wouldn't have burned down, and the church wouldn't have let Jay go. All these folks I've never met became gods over my life. Now I gotta take the power back. I'm hoping Aunt Pooh knows how. A boy zooms toward me on a dirt bike wearing a Celtics jersey with a hoodie underneath, clear beads on his braids. He hits the brakes just inches away from me. inches. Boy, I swear if you would have hit me, I say. Jojo snickers. I wasn't gonna hit you. Jojo can't be any more than 10. He lives with his mama in the apartment right above Aunt Pooh's. He makes it his business to speak to me every time I'm over here. Aunt Pooh thinks he has a crush on me, but nah, I think he just wants somebody to talk to. He'll hit me up for a candy, too, like today. You got some king-size Skittles, Bree? He asks. Yep. $2. $2. That's expensive as hell. This little boy's got a whole bunch of money pinned to the front of his jersey. It must be his birthday and he's got the nerve to complain about my prices. 1. Watch your mouth, I tell him. 2. That's the same price they are at the store. 3. Why are you not in school? He pops a wheelie. Why are you not in school? Fair enough. I slide off my backpack. You know what? Since it's your birthday, I'm gonna go against my own rules and let you have a pack for free. The second I hand them over, he rips them open and pours a bunch into his mouth. I tilt my head. Well, thank you, he says with a mouthful. We gotta work on your manners. For real. Jojo follows me to the courtyard. It's mostly dirt now thanks to the cars that people have parked there, like the one Aunt Pooh and her homeboy, Scrap, sit on. Scrap's hair is half braided, half afro, like he got up in the middle of getting it braided to go do something else. Knowing Scrap, he did. His socks poke out of his flip-flops, and he shoves huge spoonfuls of cereal into his mouth from a mixing bowl. He and Aunt Pooh talk to the other GDS standing around them. Aunt Pooh sees me and hops off the car. Why the hell you ain't in school? Scrap and the GDS nod at me, like I'm one of the guys. I get that a lot. I got suspended, I tell Aunt Pooh. Again. For what? I hop up on the car beside Scrap. Some BS. I tell them everything, from how security loves to target black and brown kids to how they pin me to the ground. The GDS shake their heads. Aunt Pooh looks like she wants blood. Jojo claims he would have whooped them guards' ass, which makes everybody but me laugh. You wouldn't have done nothing, boy, I say. On my mama. Aunt Pooh claps her hands with each word. On my mama they messed with the wrong one. Point them out and I'll handle them fools. Aunt Pooh doesn't go from 0 to 100, she goes from chill to ready to kill. But I don't want to have her in prison over long and 8. They're not worth it, auntie. How much time you get, Bree? Scrap asks. Damn. He makes it sound like I'm going to prison. 3 days. That ain't bad, he says. They take your candy. Nah, why? Let me get some Starbursts then. That'll be $1, I tell him. I ain't got cash. I can pay you tomorrow though. This fool did not. Then you can get the Starburst tomorrow. God damn, it's just $1, Scrap says. God damn, it's just 24 hours, I say in my best Scrap voice. Aunt Pooh and the others crack up. I don't do credit. That's against the 10 snack commandments, brah. The what? He says. Yo. That shit. Aunt Pooh backhands my arm. Y'all, she readed Big's 10 crack commandments. It's dope as hell, too. Bree, spit that shit. This is how it goes. I let Aunt Pooh hear some rhymes I wrote. She gets so hype over them that she tells me to rap them for her friends. Trust, if you're whack, a gangbanger will be the first to let you know. Alright. I throw my hoodie on. Aunt Pooh pounds out a rhythm on the hood of the car. More people in the courtyard drift over. I nod along, just like that I'm in my zone. I've been at this game for months, and the money's been gradual. So I made some rules, using Big's manual. A couple of steps unique for me to keep my game on track while I sell these snacks. Rule numero uno, never let no one know how much cash I stack, 'cause it's fact. That cheddar breeds jealousy, especially when it comes to basics. They'll be quick to take it. Number 2, never tell folks my next move. Don't you know competition got a mission and ambition to make exactly what I'm getting. They'll be at my spots where it's hot with plans to open up shop. Number 3, I only trust Sonny and Leek. Lil kids will set my ass up, properly gassed up, hooded and masked up. Huh? For a couple bucks stick me up on playgrounds when no one's around. Number 4 is actually important the more. No eating the stash while I'm making the cash. Number 5, never sell no junk where I bunk. I don't care if they want some chips. Tell them dip. Number 6, some things called refunds. See none. Make the sale. Take the bills, let them bail, and be done. 7, this rule gets people up in arms. But no credit or discounts. Not even for my mum. Family and biz don't gel, like bubble guts and Taco Bell. Find myself saying, what the hell? Number 8, never keep no profits in my pockets and wallets. Deposit. Or buy a safe and lock it. Number 9 is just as bad as number 1 to me. No matter where I'm at, keep an eye for police. If they thinkin' I'm suspicious, they ain't trying to listen. They'll unload the mags, make me a hashtag. Number 10, 2 words perfect min. I want some lines then. Do early grinding. Missing out on clientele, that's a hell no. If they don't see me out, they going straight to the store. Using these steps, I'll have cash out the anus to get what I need, and help out with bill payments, and sell more cookies than that famous named Amos. On my mum and on my dad, and word to big, one of the greatest. What? I finish. A collective, goes up. Jojo's mouth is wide open. 1 or 2 GDS bow to me. There's absolutely nothing like this. Yeah, they're gangbangers, and they've done all kinds of foul shit that I don't even wanna know about. But I'm enough to them, so frankly, they're enough to me. Alright, Aunt Pooh calls over to them. I need to talk to the superstar in private. You all gotta go. Everybody but Scrap and Jojo leave. Aunt Pooh lightly pushes Jojo's head. Go on, lil badass. Dang, Pooh. When you gone, let me claim. He means claim colours, as in become a guardian disciple. This little boy's always trying to join, like it's the Maple Grove basketball team. He's been throwing up GD signs for as long as I've known him. Forever never, Aunt Pooh says. Now go. Jojo makes this sound like a tire pump spitting air. Man, he groans, but he pedals away. Aunt Pooh turns to Scrap, who still hasn't left. She tilts her head like, well, what? He says. This my car. I stay if I wanna. Man, whatever, Aunt Pooh says. You good, Bree? I shrug. It's weird. Ever since Long called me a hoodlum, it's like the word's branded on my forehead, and I can't get it off me. Hate that this is bothering me so much. You sure you don't want me to handle them guards? Aunt Pooh asks. She's so serious it's almost scary. Positive. Alright. I got you. Just give the word. She unwraps a blow pop and sticks it in her mouth. What Jay gon' do about this? She's not letting me leave that school, so it doesn't matter. What, you wanna go to Garden High? I pull my knees closer. At least I wouldn't be invisible there. You ain't invisible, Aunt Pooh says. I snort. Trust, I basically walk around with an invisibility cloak on. A what? Scrap asks. I stare at him. Please tell me you're joking. It's some nerd shit, Scrap, Aunt Pooh says. Excuse you, but Harry Potter is a cultural phenomenon. Scrap goes, oh, that's the one with the lil dude with the ring, right? My precious, he says in his best Gollum voice. I give up. Like I said, nerd shit, says Aunt Pooh. Anyway, stop worrying about whether them fools notice you at Midtown, Bree. Listen. She props her foot on the car bumper. High school ain't the end or the beginning. It ain't even in the middle. You about to do big things, whether they see it or not. I see it. Everybody last night saw it. Long as you see it, that's all that matters. Sometimes she's my personal Yoda. If Yoda was a woman and had a gold grill. Unfortunately, she doesn't know who Yoda is. Yeah, you're right. I'm what? She puts her hand to her ear. I ain't hear that good. I'm what? I laugh. You're right, dang. She tugs my hoodie so it covers my eyes. Thought so. How you get over here anyway? Your mama dropped you off on her way back to work. Should have told me I was gone. Be babysitting your hard-headed ass. Oh, I forgot the reason I came over here in the first place. I stared at my notums. Jay got laid off. Oh, shit, Aunt Pooh says. For real? Yep. The church let her go so they could pay for repairs to the daycare. Shit, man. Aunt Pooh wipes her face. You aight? Jacksons can't cry, but we can tell the truth. No. Aunt Pooh pulls me into her arms. As much of a hard ass as my aunt is, her hugs are the best. They somehow say, I love you and I'll do whatever for you all at once. It'll be alright, Aunt Pooh murmurs. I'm gonna help you all out, okay? You know Jay won't let you. Jay never takes money from Aunt Pooh, since she knows where she gets it from. I understand. If drugs almost destroyed me, I wouldn't take money that's made from them either. Her stubborn ass, Aunt Pooh mumbles. I know this shit is probably scary as hell right now, but one day you gone, look back, and this gone, feel like a lifetime ago. This a temporary setback for a major comeback. We ain't letting it stop the come up. That's what we call our goal, the come up. It's when we finally make it with this rap stuff. I'm talking get out the garden and have enough money to never worry again make it. I gotta do something, Auntie, I say. I know Jay's looking for a job, and Trey's working, but I don't wanna be deadweight. What you talking about? You ain't deadweight. Yeah, I'm. My mum and my brother bust their butts so I can eat and have somewhere to lay my head, and what do? Absolutely nothing. Jay doesn't want me to get a job, she wants me fully focused on school. I picked up candy dealing. I figured if I handled some stuff for myself, that would help. I need to do more, and the only thing I know to do is rap. Now, let me be real. I know not every rapper out there is rich. A whole lot of them fake for the cameras, but even the fakers have more money than me. Then you got folks like D-Nice who don't have to fake thanks to that $1 million deal. He played his cards right and got his come up. We gotta make this rap stuff happen, I tell Aunt Pooh. Like now. I got you, okay. I was gone, call you anyway. I've had all kinds of folks hitting me up because of the battle. I made some stuff happen for you a little while ago. For real. Uh-huh. For one, we getting you back in the ring. That'll help make a name for you. A name. Yeah, but it won't make me any money. Just trust me, alright? She says. Besides, that ain't the only thing I arranged. What else then? She rubs her chin. I don't know if you can handle this one yet. Oh my god. This is not the time to drag me along. Just tell me, dang. Aunt Pooh laughs. Alright. Last night, a producer came up to me after the battle and gave me his card. I called him earlier, and we arranged for him to make a beat and for you to go into his studio tomorrow. I blink. I'm going in a studio. Aunt Pooh grins. Yep. And I'm making a song. You damn right. You. I put my fist at my mouth. For real. Hell yeah. Told you I was gone. Make something happen. Damn. I've dreamed of going into a studio since I was like 10. I would stand in front of my bathroom mirror with my headphones on my ears and a brush in my hand like it was a mic, as I rapped along with Nicki Minaj. Now I'm gonna make my own song. Shit. There's a slight problem. Which song will I do though? I've got tons in my notebook. Plus, a hell of a lot more ideas that I haven't written down. But this is my first real song. It's got to be the right one. Look, whatever you do is gone, be a banger, Aunt Pooh says. Don't sweat it. Scrap shoves a spoonful of cereal into his mouth. You need to do something like that song Ol' Boy Battled got. That swagerific trash. Aunt Pooh asks. Man, get out of here. That shit ain't got no substance. It ain't got to have substance, Scrap says. Millez lost last night, yet that song's so catchy, he got even more folks talking about it. Shit was trending this morning. Hold up, I say. You mean to tell me that I won the battle? I'm clearly the better rapper, and yet he's getting all the buzz. So basically, Scrap says, you won the popular vote 'cause everybody loved you in the ring, but you still lost the election since he the one getting fame. I shake my head. Too soon. Touché, he says, because he's Scrap, and sometimes he says touché. Look, don't worry about that, Bree, Aunt Pooh says. If that fool can blow up 'cause of some garbage, I know you can, Pooh. This skinny older man zigzags across the courtyard. Lemma holla at you. God damn, Tony, Aunt Pooh groans. I'm in the middle of an important conversation. It's not that important. She goes over to him. I bite my lip. I don't know how she does it. I don't mean the actual selling drugs part. She hands them the product. They hand her the money. Simple. I mean, I don't know how she can do it, knowing that at one time somebody else was the dealer and my mom, her sister, was the junkie. But if I make this rap stuff happen, hopefully she'll give all that up. Real talk, Bree, Scrap says. Although Mila's getting all the attention, you ought to be proud. You got skills. I mean, he blowing up, and I don't know what the hell gone happen for you, but yeah, you got skills. What kind of shady-ass compliment is this? Thanks. The garden needs you, for real, he says. I remember when your pops was on the come-up. Every time he made a music video around the neighborhood, my little ass tried to get in it. Just wanted to be in his presence. He gave us hope. Hardly anything good ever come from around here, you know. I watch Aunt Pooh slip something into Tony's shaky hand. Yeah, I know. But you could be the something good, says Scrap. I hadn't thought about it like that. Or the fact that so many people looked up to my dad, enjoyed his music. Yeah, but he gave them hope. It's not like he was the cleanest rapper. But in the garden, we make our own heroes. The kids in the projects love Aunt Pooh because she gives them money. They don't care how she gets it. My dad talked about foul shit, yeah, but it's shit that happens around here. That makes him a hero. Maybe I can be one, too. Scrap slurps the rest of the milk from his bowl. Swaggy-rific, so call me terrific, he raps with a little shoulder bounce. Swaggy-rific, swaggy-rific. Swag, swag, swag. 7. Here's the thing about my brother's car. You hear it before you see it. Scrap is still rapping swagerific to himself when I notice that all too familiar grumble getting closer. Granddaddy says Trey needs a new tailpipe. Trey says he needs money for a new tailpipe. That old Honda Civic pulls into the Maple Grove parking lot, and heads turn in its direction like they always do. Trey parks, gets out, and seems to look straight at me. Welp, this isn't good. He crosses the parking lot. His hair and his beard have grown out since he moved back home. Granddaddy says he looks like he's in a midlife crisis. Grandma says our dad spit Trey out. They look exactly alike, right down to their dimples. Jay claims he even walks like Dad, with this swagger about him as if he's got everything figured out already. He's in his Sal's uniform, a green polo with a pizza slice logo on the chest and a matching hat. He's supposed to be heading to work. A GD in the courtyard notices him and nudges one of his friends. Soon all of them watch Trey, with smirks. When he's close to me, Trey goes, I guess phones are useless now, huh? Good morning to you too. You know how long I've been driving around looking for you, Bree. You had us worried sick. I told Jay I was going for a walk. You need to tell folks where you're going, he says. Why couldn't you answer your phone? What are you talking? I take it out of my hoodie pocket. Damn. I've got a ton of texts and missed calls from him and Jay. Sonny and Malik have texted me too. That little half moon in the top corner explains why I didn't know. Sorry. I put it on Do Not Disturb for school and forgot to turn it back on. Trey tearfully wipes his face. You can't be. Loud laughs erupt across the courtyard from those GDS. They're all looking at Trey. Trey looks right back at them, like, we got a problem. Aunt Pooh comes over, smirking too. My dude, she says as she slips money in her pocket. What you doing? I'm getting my little sister, that's what. Nah, bro. She eyes him from head to toe. I mean this shit. You the pizza boy. Come on, Trey. Really? Scrap busts out laughing. I don't see a damn thing funny, though. It took my brother forever to find something, and nah, making pizzas ain't goals, but he's trying. I mean, damn, Aunt Pooh says. You spent all that time in college, being Mr. Big Man on campus with the good grades and shit, and this the result. Trey's jaw ticks. It's nothing for these two to get into it. Trey usually doesn't hold back, either. Aunt Pooh is not that much older than him, so that whole respect your elders thing is a no-go. But today, he says, you know what? I don't have time for immature, insecure folks. Come on, Bree. Immature. Insecure. Aunt Pooh says the words like they're nasty. The hell you talking about? Trey pulls me toward the parking lot. We passed the GDS. How he gone, be the big homie's son and making pizzas? One says, Law probably rolling in his grave at this week's shit. Another says, shaking his head, good thing Lil Mama keeping it going for him. Trey doesn't respond to them, either. He's always been too nerdy to be Law's son. Too soft, not straight enough, not hood enough. I don't think he cares though. We get in his car. There are candy wrappers, receipts, fast food bags, and papers all over. Trey is messy as hell. Once I lock my seatbelt, Trey pulls out. He sighs. Sorry if it seemed like I was coming at you, lil bit. Trey was the first person in the family to call me that. Word is he didn't get why everybody was obsessed with me when her parents brought me home because I was just a lil bit cute, not a lot. It stuck. For the record, I was a whole lot cute. You had us worried, he goes on. Ma was about to ask Grandma and Granddaddy to look for you. You know it's bad if she was about to do that. Really, Grandma would have never let her live that down, either. Seriously, I could be grown with kids of my own and Grandma would be one cough away from death, telling Jay, remember that time you couldn't find my grandbaby and called me for help. The pity is strong in that one. Yeah, really, Trey says. Besides, you don't need to be hanging out in the projects. It's not that bad over there. Listen to yourself. Not that bad. It's bad enough. Doesn't help that you're hanging around Pooh, considering all that she's into. She wouldn't let anything happen to me. Bree, she can't stop something from happening to herself, he says. I'm sorry for the stuff she said back there. I'm not bothered, he says. She's insecure about her predicament and picks on me to make herself feel better. Thanks to that psychology degree, my brother can read folks like a pro. Still doesn't make it right. It is what it is. But I want to talk about you, not me. Ma told me what happened at school. How are you feeling? If I close my eyes tight enough, I can still see Long and Tate pinning me to the ground. I can still hear that word. Hoodlum. One damn word and it feels like it's got all the power over me. But I tell Trey, I'm fine. Yeah, and Denzel Washington is my daddy. Damn, for real. The good genes skipped you, huh? He side-eyes me. I grin. Trolling him is a hobby. Ass show, he says. But for real. Talk to me, Bree. How are you feeling? I rest my head back. There are a couple of reasons my brother majored in psychology. 1. He says he wants to keep somebody from ending up like her mom did. Trey swears that if Jay had gotten counseling after seeing Dad die, she wouldn't have run to drugs to deal with the trauma. 2. He's always in somebody's business about their feelings. Always. Now he has a degree to certify his nosiness. I'm sick of that school, I say. They always single me out, Trey. Ever thought that maybe you should stop giving them a reason to single you out? Hold up, you're supposed to be on my side. Bree. It's bullshit that they're always sending you to the office. But you also got to chill a little bit. You're a classic case of oppositional defiant disorder. Dr. Trey is in the building. Stop trying to diagnose me. I'm simply stating facts, he says. You tend to be argumentative, defiant. You speak impulsively. You get irritable easily. I do not. Take that shit back. His lips thin. Like I said, odd. I sit back and fold my arms. Whatever. Trey busts out laughing. You're predictable at this point. Sounds like that ODD helped you out last night though. Congrats on the ring win. He holds his fist to me. I bump it. You watched the battle yet? Haven't had time. Kayla texted me about it. He rolls his eyes. Mystic. Oh, I forgot she has a real name. It's so damn cool that you work with her. Even though it's kinda sad that somebody as dope as Mystic has to make pizzas for a living. I'd be starstruck around her. Trey chuckles. You act like she's Beyoncé. She is. She's the Beyoncé of the ring. She's something. All right. He probably doesn't realize he's all dimples at the moment. I pull my head back a little with my eyebrows raised. Trey notices me staring. What? Are you trying to be her JZ? He laughs. Shut up. We're supposed to be talking about you. He pokes my arm. Ma told me she broke the news about her job before you ran off. How are you feeling about that? Dr. Trey is still on duty. I'm scared, I admit. We were already struggling. Now it will only be harder. It will be, he says. I can't lie between my student loans and my car note. Feels like most of my check's already gone. Things are gonna be extra tight until Mara gets a job or I get a better one. How's your job search going? He's been looking for something since his first day at Sal's. Trey runs his fingers through his hair. He definitely needs a haircut. It's okay. Just taking a while. Thought about going back to school to get my master's. That would open up a hell of a lot. More doors, but what? That would take away hours I could be working. It's all good though. No, it's not. But I promise you this, he says, no matter what happens, it's gonna be okay. Your almighty, all-knowing big brother will make sure of that. I didn't know I had another big brother. You're such a hater. He laughs. But it'll be fine. Okay. He holds his fist to me again. I bump it. Things can never go wrong on Dr. Dre's watch. He shouldn't have to fix this though. He shouldn't have had to come back to Garden Heights. At Markham State, he was king. Literally, he was the homecoming king. Everybody knew him from starring in campus productions and from leading the drum majors. He graduated with honors, worked his ass off to get there in the first place, only to have to come back to the hood and work in a pizza shop. It's bullshit, and it scares me, because if Dre can't make it by doing everything right, who can? All right, so this ODD of yours, he says. We need to get to the root of it, then work. I do not avoid, I say. End of discussion. End of discussion, he mocks. Don't repeat what I say. Don't repeat what I say. You're Anna's shul. You're Anna's shul. Bree is right. Bree is re. He looks at me. I grin. Got him. He pushes my shoulder. Smartos. I bust out laughing. As awful as the situation is and as big of a pain in the butt as he can be, I'm glad I have my big brother to go through it with me. 8. When I wake up the next morning, my headphones hang lopsided off my head as my dad raps in them. I fell asleep listening to him. His voice is as deep as Granddad is, a bit raspy at times, and as hard as the stuff he raps about. To me it's as warm as a hug. It always puts me to sleep. According to my phone, it's 8 a.m. Aunt Pooh will be here in about an hour to take me to the studio. I flipped through my notebook most of last night, trying to figure out what song to record. There's Unarmed and Dangerous. I wrote that after that kid got killed, but I don't know if I want to be political from jump. There's State the Facts, which reveals too much personal shit. I'm not ready for that yet. There's Hustle and Grind, which has potential, especially that hook. I don't know though. I don't freaking know. Laughs come from somewhere in the house, quickly followed by a shhh. Don't be waking my babies up. I lift my headphones off. It's Saturday morning, so I know who those laughs belong to. I slide into my Tweety bird slippers. They match my pajamas. I will always be a fool for that little yellow bird. I follow the voices toward the kitchen. Jay is at the table, surrounded by recovering drug addicts. One Saturday per month, she has meetings with people she knew from when she lived on the streets. She calls the meetings check-ins. The community centre used to hold them, but they ran out of funds and had to stop. Jade decided to keep the program going herself. Some of these folks have come a long way, like Mr. Darrell, who's been clean for 6 years and works in construction now. There's Miss Pat, who just recently got her GED. Others, like Miss Sonia, show up once in a while. Jay says the shame of falling off the wagon makes her stay away. Sonny's and Malik's moms are here, too. Aunt Gina sits on the counter with a plate of pancakes in her lap. Aunt Chell is already starting dishes at the sink. They were never on drugs, but they like to help Jay cook breakfast and even make bagged lunches for folks like Miss Sonia, who may not get a good meal otherwise. Sometimes we barely have food, yet Jay finds a way to feed us and other people, too. I don't know if it impresses me or annoys me. Maybe it's both. I'm telling you, Pat, Jay says, your mama will come around and let you see your kids. Keep working on gaining her trust. I understand the frustration though. Lord, do I understand. After I finished rehab, my in-laws put me through it when it came to my babies. I'm not sure I'm supposed to hear this. I'm talking court cases, supervised visits. How you gonna have some stranger supervise me as I spend time with my babies? All these stretch marks I got from bringing them big heads into the world, and you don't trust me around them. The others chuckle. My head is normal size, thank you very much. I was pissed, Jay says. Felt like everybody held my mistakes against me. Still feels like that sometimes. Especially now as I go on this job hunt. They giving you a hard time? Mr. Darrell asks. The interviews start out fine, says Jay. Until they ask about my gap of unemployment. I tell them the truth, and suddenly I become another junkie in their eyes. I don't hear back. That's such bull, Aunt Chell says, picking up Miss Pat's empty plate. Malik looks nothing like his mama. She's short and plump, he's tall and lanky. She says he's his daddy's clone. You know how many rich white folks come to the courthouse on drug possession? A whole lot, says Jay. Too many, Aunt Chell says. Every single one gets a little slap on the wrist and goes right back into society, like it's all good. Black folks or poor folks get on drugs. We're ruined for life, Jay says. Sounds about right. You mean sounds about white, says Aunt Gina, pointing her fork. Sonny is his mama's twin, right down to their short, curly cuts. But what can I do? Jay says. I just hate that I don't know what's gonna happen next. She spots me in the doorway. She clears her throat. See? You all woke my baby up. I inch into the kitchen. No, they didn't. Hey, lil bit, Aunt Gina says in the careful way that people only use if they feel bad for you. How you doing? She must know what happened. I'm fine. That's not enough for Jay. She tugs at my hand. I sit on her lap. I should be too big for this, but somehow, I always fit perfectly in her arms. She snuggles me close, smelling like baby powder and cocoa butter. My bookie, she murmurs. Sometimes she babies me, like it's her way of making up for when she wasn't around. I let her do it, too. I wonder though if she only sees me as her baby girl who used to snuggle up with her until I fell asleep. I don't know if the snuggles are for who I am now. This time, I think the snuggles are for her. Aunt Pooh picks me up as planned. I tell Jay that we're just hanging out. If I told her I'm going to a studio, she'd say I can't go because my grades dropped. The studio is in an old house with peeling paint over on the west side. When Aunt Pooh knocks on the front door, some older woman talks to us through the screen and sends me, Aunt Pooh, and Scrap to the garage in the back. Yeah, Scrap is here. Aunt Pooh must have brought him for backup, because this house is a mess. Hard to believe anybody lives here. A couple of the windows are boarded up, and weeds and vines grow up the walls. Beer cans litter the grass. I think I spot some needles, too. Hold up. Is this a trap house? I ask Aunt Pooh. That ain't your business, she says. A pit bull lying in the backyard suddenly perks his head up and barks at us. He charges our way, but a chain keeps him near the fence. Guess who almost peed herself? That'd be me. Who's this guy again? I ask Aunt Pooh. His name is Doc, she says, her thumbs tucked into the waist of her pants, either to hold them up or so she can easily get to her piece. He ain't big time or nothing like that, but he's talented. I got you a dope beat for a good price. He gon' mix it and everything. Have you sounding professional? She looks me up and down with a grin. I see you rocking the Juicy Special. Huh? Way back, when I had the red and black lumberjack. She tugs at the plaid shirt under my bubble vest as she quotes Biggie, with the hat to match. She tugs at my trapper hat, too. Finally learned some style from your auntie, huh? Any good I do, she finds a way to take credit. Learn to keep your pants on your butt and we'll talk. The garage has graffiti all over it. Aunt Pooh knocks on the side door. Feet shuffle and someone hollers out, "Who is it?" P is all Aunt Pooh says. Several locks click, and when the door opens, it's like that moment in Black Panther when they go through the hologram and enter the real Wakanda. It's like we just stepped through a hologram that showed everyone else a trap house and into a studio. It's not the fanciest, but it's better than I expected. The walls are covered in those cardboard cup holders that restaurants give when you have multiple drinks to carry. Soundproofing. There are several computer monitors at a table, with drum pads, keyboards, and speakers nearby. A mic sits on a stand over in a corner. A pot-bellied, bearded guy in a wife beater sits at the table. "Bid up, P," he says with a mouth full of gold. His words come out slow, like somebody turned down the tempo on his voice. "Bid up, Doc." Aunt Pooh slaps palms with him and the other guys. There are about 6 or 7 of them. "Bree, this is Doc, the producer," Aunt Pooh says. Doc nods at me. "Doc, this is Bree, my niece. She about to murder the speech you got for her." "Hold up, you made that for this little girl?" some guy on the couch asks. "What you gonna do? Spit some nursery rhymes?" There go the smirks and snickers. This is the stale and predictable shit Aunt Pooh warned me about when I first told her I wanted to be a rapper. She said I'd have to do double the work to get half the respect. On top of that, I got to be just as cutthroat, and I better not show weakness. Basically, I got to be one of the guys and then some in order to survive. I looked dude on the couch dead in his eyes. "Nah, I'll leave the nursery rhymes to you, Father Goose." A couple of the guys say, and one or to give me dap as they crack up. Just like that, I'm one of them. Doc chuckles. He wished this beat was for him. That's all. Check it out. He clicks some stuff on one of the computers and a bass-heavy up-tempo beat blasts through the speakers. Well, damn. It's nice as hell. Reminds me of soldiers marching for some reason. Or the hands of a school security guard patting me down for drugs I didn't have. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. I get my notebook out and flip through. Shit. Nothing I've got seems to go with this beat. It needs something new. Something tailored to it. Aunt Pooh bounces on her heels. Ooh-wee. We really gone beyond the come-up once this drops. On the come-up. Dun 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 dun. On the come-up, I mumble. Dun 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 dun. On the come-up. I close my eyes. The words are there, I swear. They're just waiting for me to find them. I see Long throwing me to the ground. One false move would have stopped any chances of a come-up. But you can't stop me on the come-up, I mutter. You can't stop me on the come-up. I open my eyes. Every single person in here watches me. You can't stop me on the come-up, I say, louder. You can't stop me on the come-up. You can't stop me on the come-up. You can't stop me. Nope, nope. Smiles slowly form in heads nod and bob. You can't stop me on the come-up, Doc echoes. You can't stop me on the come-up. One by one, they join in. Slowly, heads nod harder, and those few words become a chant. Yo, that's it. Aunt Pooh shakes my shoulder. That's that shit we? Her phone goes off. She glances at the screen and slips it back in her pocket. I gotta go. Hold up. What? I thought you were staying with me. I got some business to take care of. Scrap will be here. He nods at her, like this is an agreement they made already. So that's why he's here. What the hell? This is supposed to be your business, I say. I said I'll be back later, Bree. Alright. She walks out, as if that's that. Excuse me, I tell the others, and rush out. I have to jog to catch up with Aunt Pooh. She opens her car door, but I grab it and shut it before she can get in. Where are you going? Like I said, I got some business to take care of. Business has been her code word for drug dealing since I was 7 years old and asked her how she made enough money to buy expensive sneakers. You're my manager, I say. You can't leave now. Bree. Move, she says through her teeth. You're supposed to stay with me. You're supposed to put that all aside. But truth is she never said she would. I assumed. Bree. Move, she repeats. I step aside. Moments later, her cutlass disappears down the street, and I'm left in the dark, without a manager. Worse, without my aunt. Curious eyes wait for me back in the studio. But I can't show weakness. Period. I clear my throat. We're good. All right, Doc says. You gotta come hard on this one. This your introduction to the world. Know what I'm saying? What you want the world to know. I shrug. He wheels his chair closer to me, leans forward, and asks, What's the world done to you lately? It put my family in a messed up situation. It pinned me to the ground. It called me a hoodlum. It's done a hell of a lot, I say. Doc sits back with a smile. Let know how you feeling then. I sit in a corner with my notebook and my pen. Doc's got the beat on repeat. It gives the floor a pulse, making it thump slightly beneath me. I close my eyes and try to soak it in, but every time I do, Long and Tate sneer back at me. If I was Aunt Pooh, I would have whipped their asses, no lie. Anything just to make those cowards regret even looking at me twice. I'm not Aunt Pooh though. I'm weak, perilous Brie who had no choice but to lie there on the ground. But if I was Aunt Pooh, I'd tell them. Run up on me and get done up, I mutter, and write it. Done up. The good news. A lot rhymes with done up. The bad news. A lot rhymes with done up. I tap my pen against my palm. Across the garage, Scraps shows Doc and his boys his two pieces. One's got a silencer, and the guys damn near drool over it. Aunt Pooh says Scraps got more heat than a furnace. Wait. Run up on me and get done up. My squad got more heat than a furnace. I mumble as I write. Silencer is a must. They ain't heard us. Heard us. Nobody hears us around here. Like,